recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan and I am here today with episode 400. We are here, and when I say we, I mean we. On the bottom, I'm going to go counterclockwise. Bottom left of my screen, Mr. Ben Young is here. Hello, Ben.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. To
Ben,
his right.
Guns out tonight, by the way.
Yeah,
Showing off the guns, Ben. Pow, pow, pow.
Well, this is a double reference to 2019 conference in Vegas because this is a shirt that I wore, and also this is Zahkia's husband's guns out. So it's a double reference.
Ben took his Trivial Warfare shirt, cut the sleeves off, and now has a muscle tee, and it's one of a kind, and it's awesome.
Yep.
To Ben's right, Mr. Chris Hollister is with us today. Hello, Chris.
It is good to be back on, sir. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to have you here. To his north, Erin Barkley is here. Hello, Erin.
I'm confused by the directions, but it is warming my heart to see all these people in one screen.
There,
to the leeward side.
To her east, Zahkia Mendoza is here.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Above Zahkia, Nick Groves is with us.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hello, hello. And to his left, Carmela Smith is here.
This is the most dysfunctional Brady Bunch screen I've ever seen in my life.
It really is.
But hello, everyone.
Out of order, but special guest. And so I saved him for last. This is the show and the stars of the show and the cast of the show. And Scott Barber is with us with the and credit. Hello, Scott.
Top billing.
I love the and credit. I was going to make the joke of I don't feel like the youngest one in curls in the Brady Bunch screen. But, either way, it is an absolute pleasure to be here again. Thank you once again for having me.
An absolute pleasure to have you. So, guys, this is episode number 400.
400.
I was listening to part of 100 today out of nostalgia. And in the very first few minutes, we're talking about how long we've been doing the show, when it was 2 years old or so. And Chris says to everybody, honestly, I didn't think we'd make it more than 10 episodes.
You almost did.
True story. It is a true story.
Yep.
Episode 6.
Episode 6, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's amazing to have everybody who's on the show regularly here tonight for 400. We're going to have a great time. Does anybody have any thoughts or anything they want to share before we get on to warm it up, Chris?
This is so there's 8 people in this call. We have been setting up the timing to record this episode since episode 100.
True story.
You're not wrong. It's been a barrier, but we've got it done. We're in the week that we need to get it done. We're in good shape.
Edit this in 12 minutes and we can post it by the appropriate time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just, again, it's what you just talked about. I really, when we started doing it, especially with as frustrated as you and I were getting at each other for the first few episodes, it was just like, I didn't think it was going to last too long because I figured we'd kill each other. But then the amazing decision was made to bring Carmela in, and then Ben. And then having these amazing three, I don't want to even call you guys newbies because you're really not, because you've been on the show a whole bunch of times beforehand. But when I made the decision to kind of step down as regular, I was worried. And then Jonathan told me the names and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I should have done this about 150 episodes ago because the show would have been 100 times better.
No, sir.
And so I am just super giddy to be a part of this. Thank you again for having me back on. That was one of the agreements that Jonathan and I made, was that all the major episodes I'd be back on, and I'm happily here and excited to be a part of it because also I get to see these amazing people whom I love dearly and have been enjoying listening to. And other than that, also just because he's in my heart right now, just giving a shout out to my Uncle Chip too. So shout out, Uncle Chip. What up?
Love it.
I'll make sure he listens to this for sure. So anyway, that's enough about me. I'm shutting up now.
I like how you said having you on as if you weren't contractually obligated to show up on this episode.
That's why you never
You will
signed
be
it,
here.
Christopher.
Chris, when you stepped down, Jonathan hit me up on a chat and he said, so Chris is stepping back from the show and we need to, I'm planning on bringing a replacement in. He goes, I'd like to ask you to do it. And I go, I'm incredibly honored, but I can't fill Chris's shoes. And he goes, oh God, no. We're going to bring on 3 people. And maybe we'll be able to keep up with what Chris brought to the show.
Well,
there's 100% truth in that statement. That is exactly how that was done.
That is, as long as we're reminiscing a little bit. So I came on to the show. I found the show. Jeremy Conman actually turned me on to the show way back in the beginning for me. And back in the beginning for me was episode like 170-ish, 160, 170 is where I picked up the show and I started going back and listening to stuff. And the fact that I am on episode 400 is absolutely mind-blowing, considering, I was just listening to everybody and getting to know everybody and getting obsessed with the show like I'm sure most of our listeners are. And I think the bottom line is, for all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
It was a terrible lesson, Nicholas.
You knew there was a hook coming. Like,
I'm so glad that there's other people that Carmela can be irritated with on this call. It's just a beautiful thing for me.
Nick loves to play capitalism, the home game, and I have a deep appreciation for him, just not about that part.
I'm not saying it's the only way on. No, I'm just saying it's a way on.
we are teetering dangerously close to our limit on this podcast. We are about to tip over.
You have no idea how big
Carmela
is, mister.
Carmela, if you create that
Believe
board
me, I
game,
do.
I'm kickstarting it, just to let you know. I will totally buy Kickstarter the board, or
Capitalism the board game.
You know, Kickstarter the board game is a great business idea, though. That's real good.
Chris, do you know how expensive the board game of capitalism is, though? I mean, that's a pricey home game to have.
I was going to say, you price it at $10,000 a copy, and it becomes viral at that point.
Yeah,
I'm going to recoup my expenditure quickly.
You have to have your own money that you put in the bank for the game. It's not Monopoly money. It's real money.
Right. You're allowed to come in with whatever amount you're willing to put in the bank.
See, I could see Ben starting to think about this stuff. He's like, okay, I could totally pay for Alexis's school with this. This could work.
You know it.
So I found you guys in I think 2018 it would have been 2017 because I just started my own company and I was like, I need someone to steal questions from. Give me some trivia podcasts. And my friend Pega was like, check out this one, Trivia Warfare. It'll be great. And I downloaded an episode. I'm listening to it. And the question was, what does Torah mean? And you guys went back and forth about whether it means, oh God, I'm going to forget now. It means law or book, I think. And you settled on one. And my actually hits pause, went into the break room, sent you an email that was like, actually, it means both. And,
on her first listen, she's already sending a correction.
Absolutely. And you responded immediately. You were like, yeah, we know, sorry. So I get back to my desk and I hit play. And if the next thing that happens is a little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, it's like, we've actually been informed that these things mean both. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that again.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
For you, it was instantaneous.
It was, yeah.
Great.
She thought she fell into a TARDIS by accident. That's
I have a story too. I've got one too.
Okay.
Stories.
And oddly enough, it's the moment that I realized I was obsessed with the show, also in 2017. I am driving home from work, And I remember the question was the Lord of the Flies question. What does Beelzebub translate to? And it means like Lord of the Flies. Which book is it? And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I'm driving home to tell my husband, and he's like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just me. It's just me, but I love it, and I got him obsessed too. Mr. No Sleeves, guns out, always. So.
I love that I get the sense that he's always rooting for you. Like he's like he wants you to win the games that you're playing. He wants for the games you host to be good. I enjoy this.
You're talking about Ben or the Lord of the Flies?
Talking about
my husband.
Or your husband?
She's a little confused, but she's got the spirit.
She sips her margarita. Yes, I love it. All right, guys, let's get rolling here with Warm It Up Chris. Today's Warm It Up Chris is brought to you by Water Cooler Trivia. Water Cooler Trivia is sponsoring today's episode, and I encourage you to listen to their ad after the midpoint so you can find out how to get your company set up for an awesome trivia game every week.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
With an actual Chris.
Yes.
This is so exciting.
Part of Chris today will be played by Chris.
Huh? What? Oh, geez. Hi. I guess I better come up with something. Oh, I already did. I'm good. Hey, everybody. It is good to be back on. It is good to be warming you guys up again. And here we go with the question. In Trivial Warfare episode 25, which, by the way, you're going to start noticing a trend with the way that started. Sherry Bobbins was the episode title. Sherry Bobbins was a Simpsons character based off the character of Mary Poppins. Can you name the following actual people or fictional characters based off of their Simpsons parody? Cool. So let's find out. So I'm going to give you the name. If you need help, I have a description of who that person on the show was to potentially help you out who the actual or fictional person is that they're parodying. Okay.
I think that's lovely.
All right. And Zahkia, you get to go first.
Oh, good.
All right, because I went in reverse alphabetical order, just to let you know. So, all right, so you get.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
I go first because of Z.
Well,
Thank
hey,
you
you're
very
going
much.
first today. Absolutely, I got your back. All right, so you get Alaska, Nebraska.
Alaska, Nebraska.
Yes.
It hurts that I'm not a big Simpsons person, but this seems familiar. Can I get a hint?
It is. It's a TV show character.
On a TV show. It's very meta.
Yes.
I think I have an idea who this is, though.
I do. Title of a hip hop song as well.
I thought it was going to be Sarah Palin.
That's a great answer.
Nope. I will also say it was a Disney Channel show at one point in time.
Lean into the rhyme.
Yeah, I got it. Hannah Montana or
Hannah
Miley
Montana
Cyrus. Yeah,
is
okay.
correct, my friend. Well done.
Hannah Montana.
I got what? Trapping all damn night.
So, Scott, you're up next. Scott, you get Barry, the satellite TV guy.
Barry, the satellite TV guy.
Yes.
These are great.
These are
I
great.
think, yeah.
Barry, the satellite. Okay, of course I know the one that doesn't come to me. It's the way this always goes.
You want the description?
Yeah, give me the description, please.
All right, it's a comedian.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You want another hint?
Thank you. Yeah. Larry the Cable Guy, of course.
Larry the
Great
Cable
name.
Guy is correct.
Oh,
All
my
right.
goodness.
Nick Groves, you get Birch Barlow. Birch Barlow.
Scott, you're absolutely right. It's you. The only one you don't know is the one you're giving to you. Birch Barlow. So some form of tree.
Okay. Yeah. His description is he's a right-wing commentator.
No, it's not Sean Hannity. It's not Tucker Carlson. It's not Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh is correct, sir. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, you get Booberella.
Okay.
I mean, is the real person's name Ursula Andrews or Andress or something like that?
No.
Okay,
no.
so
It doesn't have to be a real person.
So is Barbarella what the answer you want?
No, Barbarella is not what I want. This is a late night horror mistress.
Oh, Elvira,
this.
Mistress of the Dark?
Elvira is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
My
if you
husband told
see
me
her
I
out-
smelled like her.
Oh, okay.
When has he been smelling
hold on.
her?
Yeah, I
I
need
don't
all
know.
that information.
And what does that mean?
How
Smell-o-vision.
did you know?
Apparently, it smells like a warm but crisp fall evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you see Elvira's outfit, you understand where they got the nickname from on the
Yeah.
show. Because
Of course.
Yeah, but that's never led to scent for me.
Well,
I've actually
hey.
seen Elvira break out of jail by flexing her boobs and breaking the cell with her
yes.
boobs.
All right. I was going to say, is this the first Scratch It Sniff episode?
Sweat and baby powder. I think that's the smell.
Beer, sweat, and panda love.
Oh God, this is off the rails already.
Well-
Things That Are Blank, season 3, coming soon.
Right.
Well, beer, sweat, and panda love is a Simpsons reference, so there's that. All right, so Jonathan, you got that. So Erin, you're up,
Oh boy.
and you get Chinos, Chinos, Chinos.
Is that Jay Leno?
It is not Jay Leno, but that is
That's a good guess.
Great guess.
Well, I thought it was too.
The description is this is a movie villain.
Yes.
Sure, it's not Jay Leno.
All right, anybody want to help Erin out?
I
Is it
snap my
Thanos?
fingers.
Is it
Marvel?
Thanos? Yes.
It is Thanos.
Yeah.
It is Thanos because if
With
you
the
look
big
at
goofy
Thanos'
chin,
chin,
yeah.
it looks like he's has a scrotum on his
It
face
does.
for whatever reason. Yeah.
I
The
get
only
it.
other option would be Mendoza.
I don't have a big chin. What are you talking about?
Oh, terrible. All right, Carmela, you're up, and you get Diedrich Tatum, and this person is a boxer.
She's known all of them.
That's the way. The way it goes.
It's like, give me a boxer. Like, oh, cool. Do I know any boxer? Diedrich Tatum. I don't know. Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson is correct.
Nice.
Wow.
Ben, to finish up round one, you get Gunter and Ernst. Gunter and Ernst.
Gunter and Ernst.
Yes, and they're a pair of tiger tamers.
It's really amazing
Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy is correct.
how you know everyone except the one given to you.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's
It's amazing.
All right, Zahkia. This is the second and last round. Just to let you know, we had a lot of people on, so it's only 2 rounds. So, Zahkia, you get Itchy and Scratchy.
So I know who Itchy and Scratchy are. Are they based on Tom and Jerry?
They are based on Tom and Jerry. Well done.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, you get Lucius Sweet. Lucius Sweet.
Sweet.
Or is it Luscious Sweet? It might be Luscious Sweet, but this is a boxing promoter.
Oh, that helps a lot. I guess that'd be Don King.
That is Don King. Well done. Nick, you get Opal. 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 And this is a daytime TV show host.
Oprah?
Oprah is correct.
Okay. That was the
Uma
first thing that came to
Oprah.
mind, but I was trying to find some sort of gemstone related celebrity.
All right.
Opal Godfrey.
Yeah.
Opal Gangnam Style.
All right, so Jonathan, this actually might be the hardest one on here. This
good.
is Quillaby, and that's Quilloughby, and this is a British singer that is a solo artist and also has a band.
Quillaby.
Quillaby, yes,
Harry Styles.
that is incorrect.
Is it Morrissey?
It is Morrissey. Well
Wow.
done.
Oh,
good
wow.
Yes, Morrissey is correct. All right, Erin, you get Rainer Wolfcastle.
So I know you keep saying that you know all the ones except for the ones that you get, but I don't actually know any of the ones, including the one that I've got. Can I have a hint, please?
Absolutely. This is an action actor that has a very thick Austrian accent.
Okay, that's Schwarzenegger.
That is Schwarzenegger. Well done.
Yay.
That's Wolfcastle to you.
All right. That's right. Carmela, you get Randall Curtis. He is director of the movie Cosmic Wars.
Oh, George Lucas.
George Lucas is correct.
Nice.
All right. And this might be my favorite one on here. So, Ben, you get my favorite, the last one, and that is Sadgasm. It is a rock band.
Sadgasm?
A rock band? Kiss?
It is not Kiss.
Was that
Joy Division?
I see where you're going with that, but
Anybody want to try to help him out? I heard a Joy Division.
That was the
That's
grunge
incorrect.
episode, wasn't it?
In excess?
It is not in excess.
Nirvana?
No. Nirvana is correct. Nirvana. And then the last one I had, which is a complete giveaway, is Senor Spielbergo. He's a Mexican director.
I'd like to be in a band called Gladgasm. I don't want to be in Sadgasm.
Oh, there you go. But anyway, y'all, that is your Warm It Up Chris question of the episode. And thanks to, Chris for creating it.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Good job out of you there, Chris. Well done.
Chris.
All right. Well, this is episode number 400. I want to remind everybody, there is an awesome product. It is called the Everyday Q&A Trivia Calendar. There's one coming out for 2023. In fact, it's already on the market now. You buy it, it'll ship. It doesn't have to wait anymore. It's not pre-order. Every day you'll have a good question. You'll have a fun answer. Some of the times it'll be by people who submitted the questions who are in our audience, which those are always special. And you really don't want to miss out. You don't want to be the only one who doesn't know today's question. So head to triviacalendar.com and be sure to pick up your Everyday Q&A calendars for 2023. I want to remind everybody, if you love what we're doing, if you love Trivial Warfare and you want more of it, you can be just like Nick Groves and pay for more of it. You just got to go to trivialwarfarearmy.com and sign up. You don't have to be a general. You don't have to. I mean, I don't mind if you do, but you can be a sergeant and still get a ton of awesome content that you cannot get anywhere else. So head to trivialwarfarearmy.com and sign up today to get access to all of our archived episodes and the every other week episodes that you're missing today.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if we can get 5 more generals on Patreon after this episode, like 5 more between episode 400 and 405, I'm going to guarantee another 400 episods.
Ooh. Wow.
Not with me. I'm going to guarantee it for Jonathan. That's his problem.
Thanks, Nick.
What I was going to say to everybody is, if you ever thought that this show was scripted, I think the last 3 minutes just showed that it's definitely not.
Oh, yeah. Has anyone ever accused us of being scripted?
Predictable is not the same as scripted, Chris. Come on. All right. So today's matchups. It's going to be Carmela and Erin versus Ben and Nick versus Jonathan and Zahkia. Scott is hosting. Chris is also hosting, and it's time to play episode 400. Welcome to the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
Well, as Jonathan was saying, Chris and I are going to co-host this game. Typically with the 100, 200, 300 games, what we've done in the past is pull questions that the hosts have missed over their time playing during the previous couple of years. But with the fact that we have a lot of new hosts and the fact that the original hosts didn't play together a lot, we decided we're going to mix it up. With the idea of the show is evolving with new hosts, we decided to mix it up with the Milestone show as well. We're going to essentially, rather than having questions that are culled from missed questions in the past, we're going to do a show that's a lot of winks and nods and inside jokes for people who listen to the show regularly. And hopefully it's a good and entertaining show for all of you as Chris and I share the hosting duties.
Yeah, as Scott and I were talking about it yesterday, this is a love letter to the show and a love letter to the Army.
Okay. All right.
So, all right, Scott. And Scott's going to be doing rounds 1, 3, and 5, and he's going to do the midpoint in the gauntlet. Because I did Warm It Up, Chris. I did that, obviously, and I'm going to be doing 2, 4, and 6. So, Scott, why don't you take it away?
All right, well, let's get into the game. Round 1, question 1 from the category of Trivial Warfare Army. And as you may or may not know, and actually I was educating Chris about this yesterday. Chris is the one who coined the term Trivial Warfare Army way back in episode 14. The I Could Have Been a Contender episode, where he says that he is imploring people to join the Trivial Warfare Army, the first use of it officially according to the Trivial Warfare debrief. Also, shout out to Nick Groves. As much as I hate giving him props to his face, as much as that really hurts my soul, got to give him a lot of credit with the Trivial Warfare debrief. It's been a big help with me putting these games together. It's no different in this one as well. Huge help. And thanks to everyone who has contributed to this thing in the past, by the way. Rob Warman being a major contributor in the past. Karen King massive controller lately. My goodness. And everyone else who's contributed to the debrief. And if you want to keep contributing the debrief from here on out, please feel free to do so. I'm sure, Nick, you can explain that better than I can.
Well, the really good news on the debrief is from here forward, from like episode 360 onward, us hosts are using the debrief form to write our games. So all of those are going to be good from here forward. So we just got to clean up the last of these sort of backlog of stuff. And I think, we are, what, Jonathan, 4 years into the debrief, and I think we're really at like 60 or 70 episodes left to cover, at which point somebody will have to go in there and sort the data and make it work good. But as far as collecting it all, we're so close. It's painful.
Yeah, according to the debrief itself, it's over 66%, so over 2/3. It's right at 2/3 complete now. Yeah. So not bad at all. But I say all of that, and I'll repeat the category that we're starting off with. Again, category Trivial Warfare Army. And your first question of the game is, although this legendary golfer and 7-time major winner also had a legion of fans known as his army, he actually served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 1951 to 1954.
All right, so we can lock in.
We're locked in.
So she said IDK Palmer, and I said Greg Norman, and I don't know. I think they're both the right. I think Arnold Palmer is older, and I think that makes him a solid guess. I don't know anything about older golfers. I did once there was a tournament at the country club where my parents belonged when I was growing up, since I'm bougie. And I was like 3 or 4, and this like big name golfer who might have been a Greg Norman or an Arnold Palmer type guy comes up to me and goes, "Hello, little girl, how are you doing?" And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "I don't talk to strangers."
That's awesome.
My dad was so angry when he found out.
He did what he taught you.
I was at some like banquet or party. I mixed. They had these two things, and it was sweet tea and it was lemonade, and I mixed them together because I was like, "Oh, that sounds good," because I was like 7, and I was like, "This is great." And it turns out that drink had already been invented by Arnold Palmer. So that's why I remember him. I was like, "He stole my drink."
Who was our answer, by the way? I don't know if we actually locked that in, but
we haven't.
Let's do it.
All right, Ben and Nick, how about y'all?
Very brief conversation along the same lines. I typed Palmer first as I was trying to remember. If I recall, he was born in the 20s, but I couldn't remember if he was born in the 20s or his career started in the 20s. Then Nick said he was definitely in the Coast Guard. I was like, all right, cool then. Palmer, done.
All right, and Jonathan and Zahkia.
There have been 3 great armies. Trivial Warfare Army is definitely
number one
of them. Going way back, you have Franco's army, and before that, you had Arnie's army, and they were the followers of Arnold Palmer.
Yay.
Everyone locked in with Arnold Palmer. I heard someone give the reference to the iced tea lemonade drink. And the correct answer is, in fact, Arnie's army. Arnold Palmer is correct.
All right.
Yay.
Hooray.
Your second question of the round is in the category of coconut rum and milk. Anyone?
Oh, God.
Hi, Bill. New dad, Bill.
In a famed episode of WWE SmackDown from 2001, 5-time WCW World Champion Booker T fought off what other WWE Hall of Famer in a grocery store, resulting in both of them covered, amongst other grocery items, in a lot of milk. No word if the store was next to a major ice cream parlor chain.
Nick, we're locked in. I'll type it.
Okay, good. Thanks. I assumed you would be locked in halfway through the question.
That's where I'm going with this. Do you like that?
I like that, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Let's go with that.
We'll lock in then.
We're naming ice cream shops.
I don't know.
It's not Milky Steve.
Still sounds gross to me.
Always, yeah.
Maybe it's because I don't like milk very much.
I just don't. I don't like cream in alcohol drinks. It's always always a gamble. Baskin Robbins, TCBY, Dairy Queen.
Cold Stone Creamery.
It's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I said it's a joke, but that makes total sense.
That makes way more sense than Captain Baskin or whatever I was going to guess.
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin would have been a better answer.
You're
Captain
right.
Baskin. Oh, that's for the show title.
Baskinville Creamery.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's a name I've heard of.
Yeah, and 2000, that was middle school. Yeah, everyone was obsessed with wrestling when I was in middle school. That makes he fits the time frame. Yeah, let's go with Stone Cold.
Lock it in.
So I'd like to point out also that he is, in fact, on that day, a Milky Steve.
Milky Steve.
We said Milky Steve Austin.
Yeah, so it was an instant for me. I just saw a snippet of this recently going over some wrestling matches. They do get into a fight at a grocery store. They completely destroyed the grocery store. I think they said it was like tens of thousands of dollars of damage they did in the store. It ends. So Stone Cold wins the fight. And he's walking out of the restaurant saying, he's walking out the door saying, clean up on our Jack. That's not the funniest part, though. The funniest part is Booker T is upside down on the floor saying, I'ma get you. It is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes. That is two questions Carmela and I have gotten through the food way in and not actual knowledge of the thing.
Well, you picked up on the hint of the ice cream parlor being Cold Stone Creamery, and Carmela, you picked up on the Milky Steve. Jonathan nailed it as well. Reference to episode 122 and Bill Patchek's. I love you, Bill, man, but I still got to think you got to get a better drink than Milky Steve. But the answer is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Good job. Your last question in round one is in the category of We're Going Timber.
Really, Scott? You had to do
that?
I love you, Chris. Of course, you would rather me make fun of you to your face than you hear it a few weeks down the road. It's out of love.
In this case, it's
out of love.
You'll hear it now, and you'll hear it a few weeks down the road.
Again, this is a reference to episode 64, where Chris actually learns what that Kesha song means. This question, however, is a different type of timber. In a vascular system of a plant, there are two main types of tissue. One that distributes water and minerals upward, and another that carries food down to the roots. Which system is the one that's going down?
All right, we're locked in.
Is that ringing a bell now?
Kind of. Yeah.
This is one of those questions where it's possible to give an answer that is completely unrelated to anything in the question, and people be like, huh?
It's like when they had Watson playing Jeopardy, and they'd ask the question, it would give an answer that was so utterly unrelated. You're like, what kind of, and you can kind of see the decision tree that got him there, even though it doesn't make any sense.
Are you good with that?
Yes.
Okay, we are locked in.
So, Zahkia, I don't even know for sure that what I'm offering is related to the vascular system of the plant. I'm aware of something. I thought it was plant stuff, and the words are like xylem and phloem or something like that.
Right.
And I don't know if this is what we're talking about here, but I think that it probably might be, and that means it's a 50-50 for me.
So, yeah, xylem to me rings a bell in plants, but also I think that's the name of that little bone that you have to press on when you're doing the Heimlich maneuver. So I'm thinking that would be
where I thought you
The sternum? That's the sternum. That's definitely a sternum.
But there's a little bone at the bottom of your sternum. I think it's called the xylem process, I think. So, but if you're pressing on it, that's going up. So I don't think it's that one. Phloem, like when you were typing that, I'm like Floms.
No,
like
so Phloem is the
Belgium?
one out of the two that I feel more confident is the right name.
Yeah, and honestly, it's better than what I was thinking because he read the question. I was like, oh my goodness, like celluloid, like cellulose. But phloem does kind of make me feel some type of way. I'm okay with that.
So are you down with Phloem?
I'm down with the phloem. I
All
feel
right.
like I should freestyle, but I am not a good rapper.
So we're going down. We're going Phloem.
You better move. You better dance.
All right, we're saying Phloem.
All right, Ben and Nick.
Zakia, I think the bone you're thinking of is the xiphoid.
That's it.
Okay.
Xiphoid
Okay.
bone
Is it?
sternum. And
I
yeah,
got
that's
you.
when you do CPR, that breaks like 90% of the time. Like people do that, or the Heimlich maneuver. But yeah, we had the same concept that you guys did. We had xylem and phloem, and I think I thought that xylem was the roots, which would mean up. So we went with phloem as not that.
Okay, I'm pumped that somebody else gave the same answer. That makes me feel somewhat validated.
All right, and Carmela and Erin.
So the first thing I thought of was human related. I was like, what's the other one other than systolic? But I was thinking of humans, not plants. And then Erin and I were trying to remember the same biology mnemonic for xylem and phloem. Phloem flows. But I'm like, well, why would it flow up? Because that wouldn't make the mnemonic stick. So we went with down. We said phloem.
Well, I couldn't give xylem as too obvious a hint of what goes up, so I left it out. But everybody got it right. The answer is phloem.
Wow.
Episode
All right, well
400
done, all
was the
the
first
teams.
ever 3 perfect scores through the whole game. That's what we're going for.
Wow.
It's a tie. It's rock, paper, scissors with 3 perfect scores.
Wow, no,
Again.
no stress on y'all or anything. Jeez.
Well, I mean, the truth about that, for me at least, is that is just sideways knowledge picked up after hearing people get that right who were not me over the last 400 episodes. We've had it at least twice, and I didn't even know what they are, so that comes from listening to y'all.
And if we
I'm
were all individuals, at least one of us would have gotten it wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to throw this out here. If this game ends in a 3-way rock, paper, scissors, Jonathan, I will personally pay whatever revenue you would have lost to make sure that everybody hears this. That would be the most epic thing that's
It's
ever
an even
happened on the
number.
show.
400.
It's 400. They're going to hear it for
Public,
free.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
nothing.
Well,
You'd pay nothing.
You need to pay for everybody to come to my house to do rock, paper, scissors in person.
Right. I'll double what Ben's donating to make that happen.
I'll triple what Nick's paying.
I'm not helping out at all.
Ballers.
No. All right. So after round 1, we have a perfect score for all 3 teams at 30 to 30 to 30. And now, Scott, if you wouldn't mind tagging me in.
All right, Chris, that's the first round. Take it away with round number 2, please.
All right. My category for round 2, question 1 is episode 1, In the Beginning. And your question is, Benazir Bhutto became the first female prime minister of a Muslim country in 1988. What country was she the prime minister of for 2 separate terms until 1996?
We can lock in.
We're going to lock in too.
I was real happy when you mentioned episode 1 because I did the debrief on episode 1. And before today's episode, I'm like, I'm gonna do something that I never do. I'm going to study up a little, and I'm going to start at episode 1 of the debrief, and I'm just going to skim stuff until I get tired of it. So I got halfway through episode 1 before I gave up.
Smart man.
And at
Smart
no
man.
point do I remember a country being New Zealand was part of episode 1. That was definitely a question or an answer in episode 1 of some kind.
Yep. When I think of Muslim countries, my first thought is Arab countries, right? So that's Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Jordan. There's like 23 of them, or at least 23 countries that are Arab speaking.
Right, but Benazir Bhutto, I think India, which, as you said in the chat, is not right.
I'm not sure it's not India, but I don't also consider India a Muslim country. They have many religions that they study there. I think Hindu is the dominant one, though, unless I'm completely wrong.
Here's my thought process based on nothing other than combining things that we're thinking about. If we go not India, but Muslim, that's Pakistan.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, we log in with Pakistan.
All right. Let's go with Jonathan and Zahkia.
That was some great functional math there. Not India, but Muslim equals Pakistan. I remember hearing about Benazir Bhutto around her assassination. And the answer we locked in on is Pakistan.
All right. And Erin and Carmela.
I just texted Carmela. Oh, come on. You guys said that. Because that's also what we said.
And your answer is Pakistan. Well done, both teams.
Yes.
So,
What,
and just
what
to
was
let
the tie into episode 1 there?
Well, just in the beginning, she was the first. So whereas Scott did a deeper dive into the episodes to come up with the questions, I were looking at the question titles and came up with a spirit of the title that is on there.
Got it. Like,
Nick, I was sitting here trying to figure out how the hell you connected it to episode 1. I'm like, why is he going on about episode 1?
Because that was the category in the beginning.
So. Well, question 2 in round 2, your category is probably one of my favorite memories of an episode, and it's episode 12, Show Me That Smile Again.
Show me that smile.
And real quick, Jonathan, what TV show was that from?
Oh,
Here we go.
No, I know. This is growing pains. This is growing pains.
That's correct.
Yes.
Well
That's
done.
right.
So out of
Well
the
done.
400 episodes, Jonathan has finally learned that Show Me That Smile is the theme song from Growing Pains and not Family
Not
Ties.
Family
Yes.
Ties. Right, yeah. Family Ties was his
Na
wrong
na na
answer.
na.
So I'm very proud of Jonathan for that. Okay. All right. So with the category being Show Me That Smile, your question is, Operation Smile is a medical nonprofit founded in 1982 to provide free medical care for children suffering from what medical condition?
I think I know, Nick.
Yep. We can lock in.
Text it to me because I got
Right.
an idea.
Should I break out the hammer here, Zahkia? Is this a full
Unless you have them.
No, I'm riding your coattail.
You can break it out for me.
Oh, Carmela's got.
Yeah.
I'm good with your answer, Zahkia. I'm good with it.
Are we all locked in?
All right. So Ben and Nick, you can talk it out then.
I'm pretty sure this is, well, I don't know what he looks for exactly. I think it's called cleft lip and palate.
I think that's the same as what I wrote, but yours is better. So let's
We can go
with
with cleft lip, and if he needs more, we can say cleft lip and palate. I don't know if they're two different things or not, but all right, we're going to lock in with cleft lip.
Let's see. Carmela and Erin.
I know it as cleft palate because it affects inward to the top half of your mouth. So we said cleft palate.
And Zahkia and Jonathan.
Yeah, and now that you've said something about cleft lip, cleft palate, I've definitely heard that. But we went with cleft palate.
Full marks for everybody. It is cleft lip and palate repair. So well done, all three teams. Well done.
Cliff Lip used to give me a discount down at the 7-Eleven.
Oh, really?
Oh my.
There you go.
Oh my. Final question, round 2. We're going to go with episode 17, There and Back Again.
Oh, I know that one.
All right. Yes, you do, as a matter of fact. That's one of the reasons why it's on here. So your question is, the Orient Express began in 1883 as the Express d'Orient, but came nowhere near the Orient on its first journey. For 10 points, name one of the 2 European capital cities that were part of that first route. For a bonus 2 points, bonus brigade!
Bonus brigade!
Name both the starting and ending stop for the first trip of the Fane Railroad. So I just need the 2 cities. You don't have to tell me which was the start and which is the stop. Just the 2 cities, please.
All right, Zahkia, I think we can lock in as long as you're on board.
Well, that's for the bonus, right?
The start, the starting point, and the ending point.
I need 2 cities for the answer, and I need one to be a definitive first answer and then one being bonus.
All right, we're locked in.
90 seconds, teams.
we're all over it. We've got all the different pieces of it. We just got to put it together, Ben. We're right there.
So
we're debating Istanbul versus Constantinople.
So Vienna as a main answer?
No. So if it's so we know we threw out Paris, we threw out Constantinople. I immediately thought Istanbul. I threw out Vienna. I knew that Vienna was on there. But if Paris and Constantinople are on there, Vienna's in the middle. So that had to have been a stop on the track rather than an origin or a destination, right?
Okay.
You went Constantinople, I went Istanbul. I think timing-wise, Constantinople is more correct.
Okay.
So I think we go Constantinople as the main answer, and we go Paris as the bonus.
All right. Sounds good.
Paris to Constantinople. Istanbul doesn't factor in at all.
Okay. We'll do that.
It was
Okay.
Istanbul or something of the sort.
So your main is Constantinople.
We're gonna lock in with Constantinople with Paris as one of the endpoints.
Okay. Carmela and Erin.
I know it ended in it didn't reach Asia really at all. Well, depending on how you cut Turkey up. I said Istanbul. It's the same city. I know it had a different name. It's the same damn city, Nick.
Been a long time gone.
That difference is nobody's business but the Turks, though. So.
Yeah.
There you go. But we said Paris and Istanbul.
Paris being your main answer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jonathan and Zahkia, what were you thinking?
So no Turkish delight on a moonlit night for us. Paris for sure. I like Jonathan said Istanbul, and that sounded good to me. I do remember in Murder on the Orient Express that at least in the movie, the recent one, they go to Baghdad, but that seemed a little bit too far. I feel like the Venice Simplon, the one like Orient Express, that one that's running now, stops in Istanbul. So we went with Paris and Istanbul. And I think it was Istanbul at the time. The Ottomans have been busy for a while.
I feel like I've heard the question before, so I didn't have to do any of the thoughting. It's like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I've heard this before. I think it's Paris and I think it's Istanbul. Let's go with those.
I think you do plenty of thoughting.
No, I haven't done nearly enough thoughting in this episode.
So, according to theorientexpress.com, it is on June 5th, 1883, the first Express d'Orient left Paris for Vienna. So it was Paris to Vienna.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, dude.
Paris
Does
to
it not end in
Vienna.
Istanbul?
It did eventually, but that very first journey was Paris to Vienna.
Hold on. On that very first journey, did the train continue to Istanbul?
It did not. The final journey was Vienna. That would not have been the answer if Vienna would not have been the answer.
Technically you could be right and still not be right.
No. Anyway,
Talk about some false advertising. Orient Express stopping in Vienna.
Nowhere near the Orient.
I'm glad we went Paris first. Whew.
Yeah, me too.
After unfortunately, one team did not. And after 2 rounds, 2 teams are tied at first place with 60 points, and that's Carmela and Erin and Zahkia and Jonathan. But Ben and Nick are close behind with 52. And I'm going to tag team my partner in Scott for round 3.
And we got the bonus, but not the main question.
That is factually correct.
All right, round 3, we're going to start with the first question in the category of, and you thought you had problems with just a jar or bag of nothing. The nothing was the primary existential threat to Fantastica, the fictional world in what 1979 Michael Ende fantasy novel, and later a 1984 film where the land was known as Fantasia.
That was quick.
I'm sending something with just...
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That leaves Ben and Nick to talk it out a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're locked in.
We just need Jonathan to say the magic words.
We're locked in.
All right, there you go.
All right, Ben. When I Fantasia, that's the never-ending story, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
All I remember from that movie is Falcor. That's all I remember.
That is Falcor is in that movie. I think
And the
nothing.
Ivory Tower. I remember that too.
I think the nothing was the existential threat in the never-ending story. I think we go with never-ending story.
Sounds familiar. Let's lock it in.
So did Falco rap Amadeus in the middle of the movie?
He said Falcor. You got it right.
I know he did. I've always just thought that it was fun that they were so similar.
How about Jonathan and Zahkia then?
Yeah, we were the nothing is a never-ending story. That's gonna be with me until I get blown up by the nothing someday. It's always gonna be in my head.
Oh my, that was dark.
I said
All right.
someday. I didn't say Sunday. Jeez.
Sunday.
It's not imminent.
Sunday. And Carmela and Erin.
I'm going to make a lot of people very upset when I say that I have never actually seen this movie, but Carmela had the I'm typing dots next to her name before you even finished the question.
Because me, like many other children who were born in the 80s, were traumatized by Atreyu. Yeah, it's definitely the never-ending story.
By Artax.
I was literally
that
gonna
was
bring
the
that
sad
up.
one.
Yeah, it was Artax.
Artax was a sad
Come
one.
on, you
Well,
can make it.
Yeah. So this traumatized all kids from around our age, even I, who was
Spoilers, you guys.
little bit. Yeah.
For a
Yeah, spoilers on a
44-year-old
38-year-old movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, Rosebud's a sled for those
What?
who keep score.
Rude, stupid horse just ruined my week.
Oh, but once again, we had a clean sweep on the answer. It was the never-ending story. Good
The
job.
never-ending story.
Yes.
I remember that part.
All right, that takes us to the second question in round number 3 in the category of I was told there would be no math.
No.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not lying. There is no math in this question. None whatsoever.
Accountant.
He
No
Orient
math
Expressed us.
whatsoever.
Yeah, he did.
Your question in the category of I was told there would be no math. The phrase, it was my understanding that there would be no math, which is how it's actually said, comes from a 1976 SNL sketch where Chevy Chase is portraying, somewhat ironically, what public figure?
Yeah, 100%, Ben. We're locked in.
We're locked in with Meow Meows.
Oh,
Meow, meow.
Jonathan.
Oh.
By the way, this might be one of my favorite Scott Barber questions of all time.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. We're locked in.
Okay. So, Zahkia, yeah, my gut is telling me 76. This is going to be a presidential debate, and I think it's Ford and Carter at the time. I don't know if Ford got the nomination, though, now that I think about it. It could have been like, shoot, did Reagan run and lose in 76? No, you're making faces like I'm crazy. Anyway, out of all of those possible people, I would still say that I think it's going to be the Carter side.
I think that makes more sense that one, he's like an actual engineer, like he's actually, super mathy, and it'd be kind of ironic. And he's got the Georgia.
He's a Georgia peanut ball.
Yeah, farmer type thing going on. That's a terrible accent. I am sorry to everyone in Georgia. My apologies, but I am also good. I'm good with Jimmy Carter for sure.
I typed Ford right away to Nick. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is Gerald Ford, which I learned on this show.
We ended up going with Leslie Lynch King Jr.
That is not correct.
Technically it is.
Correct.
Is that his name? Is that his real
That's his
name?
real name, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he's
one of
not
the
a real
presidents that
Ford.
doesn't go by his birth
Yeah.
name.
Oh, well,
Yep.
we locked in with Ford.
Yeah, we definitely locked in with Ford.
Is Bobby named Clay? I'm going to call him Clay.
All right, and Carmela and Erin.
I went with the irony route. His name is Chevy, which is spelled like Chevy.
Oh, no.
So we went with Ford.
Oh no!
I didn't know why it was going to be ironic. I knew it was a clue, but I didn't know what would make it ironic. I thought it'd be political.
Oh, well, actually, Dan Aykroyd was the one who portrayed Jimmy Carter. Debate. You had the debate right, Carter and Ford, but Carmela picked up on the irony part. It's a Chevy playing a Ford. The answer is Gerald Ford.
So Carmela just typed Ford, period. Chevy, period. And I did not understand what I'm like, you're just
Kia.
saying the answer again. That's good.
Tesla.
I get it now.
I remember reading about there being something ironic about how he was portrayed at the time, because he was seen as like this clumsy president, because there was all these clips of him like tripping over stuff, but he was like apparently a hell of an athlete at Michigan. And
All right, yeah.
There was
Absolutely.
like this reputation he couldn't overcome because he had, faux pas and he would trip over stuff. So
It's one of the two things I know about Gerald Ford is that he played for Michigan.
Played for
And he was a
Michigan, and his
model.
name is Leslie Lynch King Jr.
I didn't actually know that.
That takes us to the last question of the first half. Question 3 of round 3 in the category of Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
Is that
Scott
your
is-
impression of?
hardcore
Scott
rap.
just likes to dig me in the ribs just a little bit. Just
Any chance
good
I get,
punch.
Chris. Any chance I get. Of course, throwback to Trivial Warfare episode 188. And your question in this category is, according to official Sesame Street canon, as mentioned in both a 2004 episode of the show and also its own Twitter account in 2010, which Sesame Street character's name is actually Sydney?
Meow, 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 meow.
I guess you're locked in.
I don't know yet. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm assuming yes.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
but
Oh,
I
I'm
want
glad
to
you said
keep
that. I would have said the wrong
spelling
thing.
this over and over again.
Yeah, cool. We can lock in.
We're locked in.
All right, they're locked in. So
Sorry.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Oh,
please
my.
share. I think we got the show title coming up. I can smell it. I can smell it.
They're
Oh,
gone. They're out of
Here
their
we go.
chairs. They're off the screen.
Yeah.
Time of death, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Carmela can't
On the
breathe.
dot.
when the show went completely off the
Somebody
rails.
catch Waco
Carmela
and
is
have him run into the
verklempt.
room.
She's verklempt. She is pushing her hands up and down, trying to calm the air
Wheels are
down
on the
around her.
Ears. Oh my god.
This is so stupid, you guys.
I've never seen her skin match her hair color before.
The same shade of red.
So
She's
I
not
don't
on
even.
the screen. She's gone.
Yeah,
She's
she
out
gone.
of the
She's
chair.
gone. She gone.
She's out
But
of the
the-
camera.
The typing dots are going, guys, so we're okay.
I don't think she's typing. I don't think she's breathing.
Listen, it's obvious that both of y'all really needed that laugh. So I'm happy. I know Carmela.
shoot,
needs it.
yeah.
So I don't even know how she feels about the answer as an answer, but I can tell you guys that I first sent to her Snuffle Opinion,
Okay.
followed by Snuffle Onion. And finally, I said the Greek guy. And that's
We didn't get any further than that.
and that's where the conversation kind of fell off a cliff. So my
Your
guess,
snuffle opinion.
so my guess is Snuffleupagus. I don't actually know if that's the answer or not. And at this point, I've forgotten the question and also everything else that happened today.
My mom would know this immediately, but I think you're right.
It's either that or Cookie Monster.
No, it is Cookie Monster.
Okay, great.
It is Cookie Monster.
She changed so fast.
Carmela got real serious. Like the laughter stopped. It's definitely Cookie Monster, and then she fell back out of her chair.
Okay.
Cookie Monster.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and lock in with Cookie Monster, whose nationality is unknown.
I think Snuffy's name Aloysius? Or something
Aloysius,
like that?
yes.
Mhm.
Aloysius
Snuffleupagus,
Snuffleupagus, yeah.
Yep.
So we got Erin and Carmela's answer. So Ben and Nick, how about y'all?
We had the same conversation. We started with Snuffleupagus. My response was, nope, his name is Aloysius, 100% on that. I'm pretty sure it's Cookie Monster, and that's what we locked in with.
Yeah, but our conversation was more fun.
100%. I don't have a Snuffle opinion.
Oh, see what you did there.
Identifying his nationality was really important in that discussion.
Whatever. You're full of Snuffle opinions. You're like a Snuffle onion. You have layers.
I have layers. I always like that's my wife says I'm very much like an onion. I say I'm like a flower.
And he looks
I have
kind of
layers.
Greek.
And he smells.
I'm definitely Greek.
And
He's
you
Greek
also
for sure.
And Nick makes people cry. So there's that.
Yes.
All right. So Zahkia and Jonathan, you're up.
Unlike Ben, I didn't even get a chance to mistakenly because Zahkia was on it.
Yeah, I just knew this. I have a 2-year-old. Like lots of Sesame Street. Cookie Monster is Sydney.
All right, Scott.
Yeah.
How about
Try
you
next
reel
week.
us in?
Well, again, everybody seemed to be able to figure it out. It was not Mr. Snuffleupagus, but it was actually Cookie Monster. All around. Very good.
Well, after 3 rounds, we have a leader, and that leader is Carmela and Erin with 90 points. In second place, Ben and Nick with 82.
Yay.
In third place, Zahkia and Jonathan with 80. So very, very close game.
For the midpoint, your category is 400, and specifically the Forbes 400. Forbes 400 is a list of the 400 wealthiest Americans ranked by net worth. For 5 points each, please name the top 4 as of September 2nd, 2022. I'll give you a hint. All 4 men have a net worth of at least $100 billion each.
So clarification, these are Americans. Yes.
Yes. I guess, Zahkia, the way that Forbes actually lists is the 400 richest people in America is
Okay.
how to phrase it.
In America, but not necessarily American.
Some
You're
of
saying
them
just saying
may,
in America. Just they live here.
Yeah. 400 richest people in America. Yes.
Okay.
Like currently in America or of American descent?
I don't know where they are right now, Nick.
Right
I
behind
don't
you.
have a tracker on there. I don't have a tracker on their Cessna. Sorry.
All right, we're locked in.
You're good with that, Ben?
You want them in order or just four
We don't
names?
need them in order. That was just me
Does not have to
trying
be
to
in
flex.
order.
Right.
Oh.
If I'm right. If I'm wrong, we don't have to mention that that's the order I put them in.
Yeah, because your
does not
order
have
isn't
to be in
right. But okay. That's
I'm,
fine. Yeah, we're locked in.
I'm like 80% sure that's right.
No, you're not right.
Okay.
But our answer is locked in.
Jonathan. All right, can we talk? Okay.
So yeah, I think Bezos is still up there. I think I get the sense Paul Allen is probably still near the top there. He's a sports team owner. He was a co-founder of Microsoft with Gates. While Gates gave away a lot of his money, so he may not be there anymore. I don't know if he's there or not anymore. He used to be, but Allen might still be.
Oh,
'cause I
and
don't
Gates
think he's
also
been
got
doing the
divorced
charitable
recently,
donations.
so.
Okay, so Gates and Buffett, in a similar way, has given away a lot of his money. I don't know if he qualifies anymore.
The thing about, he's given away a lot of the money, but he's not, like,
It's going to go away after he dies, but he still has it? kind of thing?
I think that might be the case, that when he dies.
Do you want to say then Bezos, Allen, Musk, and Buffett?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then that's what we'll do. Cool. Musk and Buffett sounds like a sidekick tandem.
It's like a Hall & Oates, yeah.
That's a, I was gonna say, that's a
No,
great,
but they're doofuses. Musk and Buffett are definitely doofus sidekicks.
I
Right, they
see
just
them
go
as
around
like
the world with billions of dollars, like stumbling into solutions. Yeah.
Where you going, Musk?
I think of them more as like a 60s folk duo, like a Simon and Garfunkel, Musk and
Musk and
Buffett.
Buffett, yeah.
I'm getting
What are we
Civil
doing
War
tonight,
cartoon.
Yeah, that's good.
Son, I say, son.
We have a foghorn leghorn.
Boy,
That's who I think
boy.
of. That's who I think of when I think of Buffett, for sure. Ben and Nick, what was y'all's thoughts?
So while Nick and I are in violent disagreement about who the richest man in America is,
I'm definitely right.
Jeff Bezos is not richer than Elon Musk. Like,
I
it's not.
believe I put Bozos.
I also put Bozos.
I wrote
More
Bezos.
fitting name for him.
I've got Bozos 1, Musk 2, Zuckerberg 3, Gates.
Oh,
that
I
was
did.
the order I have.
So to clarify, our list is Bezos, Musk, Zuckerberg, and Gates.
In that order. Although it doesn't matter what the order is.
The first thing I said to Erin is, "Oh my God, I don't care."
Yep.
I knew this. I knew this would be an unpopular question. with Carmela.
But
don't care.
thematically, it fit.
No,
So,
no.
all right,
No,
so,
it's a solid question.
It's
All right.
it's legit trivia. That's not what I'm.
No, I get it. I totally get it, and I'm right there with you. But
Four
ladies,
people that can solve most of the world's problems with
And then
their
don't.
interest.
So we had the same answer as Ben and Nick. We said Zuck, Musk, Gates, and Bezos.
Except my phone wanted that to be sucks and bozos.
Yeah.
that's about right.
Yeah, I think we all entered Bozos. I don't think anybody had Bezos.
Let's start from the top. I believe everyone got this, but we do have a disagreement with who is number one with $251 billion in net worth. Elon Musk.
I told you.
Number one.
No.
But Nick, you said you were right.
I know I'm right.
$251 billion.
We had faith. We believed you. Oh my
Y'all
God.
keep forgetting about SpaceX. Like it's
I-
just
right.
broke.
No,
I would like to
have
forget about
did you
SpaceX.
look this morning or did
I'm
you
looking
look
at it
now?
right now.
Right now?
now. Right now.
This
After
is
the day the market has-
Forbes.com.
When does this happen in the movie? This is now.
Now.
September.
It's now.
It came out in September.
That was then. This is now.
When will then be now?
Soon.
Soon. Bezos is actually $100 billion less, but
slacker.
he is
It was
number
close.
2.
I was close.
Just off by 100 billion.
Within
For me-
500 miles.
Hey,
He
for me,
did get divorced to an amazing woman that is literally giving away the money that she earned in the divorce, which is just, she's one of my favorite people ever. So
She's
And
great.
Shout out Mackenzie.
that's right.
100 billion, that's just a rounding error where I work too,
Right.
Nick. So,
I was going to say, Scott, you've screwed up more than 100 billion.
I really have. We won't talk about that too much. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, number 3 with 106 billion is Bill Gates, and no one got number 4. And it's the reason I limited this to 4 and not like top 4 out of 5 because I figured everyone would be around it. But with 101 billion, former number 1, Larry Ellison.
Oh,
I said Ellison.
I have no
I
idea who
forgot
that
about
is.
I don't know who that is. Yeah.
It's Oracle.
Yeah, that's he is a
Oh.
chief tech officer of co-founder of Oracle. That's right.
Huh.
Who is
that
5,
was-
Scott?
5 is Warren
Warren Buffett.
Buffett.
Oh,
with
my God.
97 billion.
Not
Just
to be
outside of
confused
the
with
100
Jimmy
billion
Buffett,
category.
by the way.
Yeah.
It's
So what were
not
the four
Jimmy
again?
Buffett, it's Warren Buffett.
The 4 again were Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Larry Ellison.
Where's
With-
Zuckerberg on the list?
Yeah,
Zuckerberg
where's that?
is number 11 with 57.7 billion.
He had
Wow.
a
I
lot
thought it'd
drop
be a
in the
lot more.
last 6 months.
That was
I thought
my
it'd be a lot
initial
more
guess
than
was Zuckerberg, Gates, Bezos, and Ellison.
Well, they all lost cap with the stock market crashing, but man, that's a way.
Yeah, I
more
heard.
percent.
I heard Paul Allen. I believe he has a net worth of around 20 billion, and
Oh,
Barely
I'm so
even
sad
worth
for
going
him.
to work in the morning.
just chump change the rest of these guys.
What
right?
team does he own?
Portland Trailblazers.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Portland.
And also he owns part of the Seattle Seahawks as
I was
well.
about to say something in Washington, too.
After the midpoint, Carmela and Erin still in the lead with 105 points. Ben and Nick in second with 97, and Jonathan and Zahkia in third place with 90.
The
Yeah.
close game.
Oh, falling behind.
Rock, paper, scissors, 3-way is not looking good right
Not
now.
looking
Are they
good.
still perfect? Are Carmela and Aaron still perfect?
We
No.
missed one of the
105.
midpoint.
Oh, you
They missed one of the
Got it.
midpoints.
All right, that is the end of the first half. And before we go on to the second half, I want to let you know that today's show is sponsored by Water Cooler Trivia. I love what Water Cooler Trivia is doing to bring trivia into the workplace. So many of us have been stuck working from home where you don't get to see people and engage with people and talk to people face to face. And it's hard to build connections at work. It's hard to network and have relationships with people. But Water Cooler Trivia is a game that can create opportunities to engage with each other, to build relationships, to have something to talk about. Handwritten by trivia nerds. The game is integrated with Slack and with Microsoft Teams. It's really easy to set up, and you can choose everything from the type of quiz it is, the categories, the difficulty, how many questions, what day of the week you get it, when's it due. It's all customizable, right? That means you can create the perfect game for you and for your work group and for your office. You'll get weekly leaderboards. You'll see who the winner is. You'll see the funniest response. And you can set it up to play as teams or as individuals. There's over 1,000 companies using Water Cooler Trivia right now, folks. 1,000 companies. It's a lot. I'm encouraging you to get set up with a free trial today and use it as a great way to have fun and to build community inside of the workplace. You just need to head over to watercoolertrivia.com today and sign up for a 4-week free trial. You don't even need to put a credit card in. If you want to know more about it, you can request a live demo and do a sample quiz. It's easy. Go to watercoolertrivia.com today, sign up for a free trial, and start using trivia in the office to have fun and to build teams. It's a win-win. Give it a try. Today's show is also brought to you by BetterHelp. You know, life is a funny thing. It's always changing. Even when you think you have everything together, things change around you and you're stuck reacting. You have to figure things out. And sometimes it can be hard. It can be uncomfortable. Things make even confident people, secure people feel unsure. Maybe it's a career change. Maybe it's a new relationship, becoming a parent. Anything could leave you feeling like you just don't know exactly what's going on or what's happening or how to cope with the changes. That's where BetterHelp can come in. A therapist is a great person to talk to about the changes happening in your life. Or even, it doesn't even have to be big changes in your life. Sometimes it's just the small things, like, why did this person say that? Or what is this person thinking? You know? And having somebody to talk to and share those feelings with privately is a big deal. It's a big help. I tell you all the time about my therapist, Crystal, and how much I appreciate her and rely on her. I was talking to somebody last night about therapy for a little bit, and they said, yeah, my therapist is probably my best relationship over the last few years. It's the person I count on the most. And that's the way I feel, too. It's so important. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched over 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, and they're available online 100%. Plus, it's affordable. You just need to fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. And if things don't work, if they're not clicking, if it's not the right person for you, it's easy to switch to a new therapist anytime. It could not be simpler. There's no waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. You can learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/TWA. Make sure you put the /TWA in there. It's important. So that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TWA to get started today. All right, let's get kicked off for the second half of today's game.
Scott, I'm taking over for round 4, and anybody that knows me knows what time it is for round 4. Question 1, it is time for Chris Destroys a Hit.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm back.
Give you up.
So I want you to name me this 1991 mega hit that hit number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and number 5 on Rolling Stone's magazine's top 500 songs of all time 2021 edition by the following lyrics. And here we go. I'm worst at what I do best, and for this gift I feel blessed. Our little group has always been and always will be until the end. Word. All right. There's no word at the end of the song. That was just my little
he added flavor.
Riffing.
Yes, I added flavor. So, just for y'all at home, here's the lyrics for you. I'm worst at what I do best. And for this gift, I feel blessed. Our little group has always been and always will until the end. And again, this is a 1991 mega hit. Good luck, teams.
Thank you.
We're locked in. And Ben, the look of total confusion and lack of understanding.
Well, once
Fair.
you share what you shared, it made complete sense.
We can lock in.
So Zahkia and Jonathan can talk it out.
So I don't recognize the lyrics, Zahkia, but think about the Rolling Stone top songs. These are songs like Hey Ya is in there. Like a Rolling Stone is number 2, you know? So think about like somebody who released a song in 91 who's on that list is kind of where I'm trying to go. And Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You seems like the kind of song that could be there and it's in the right time frame.
So the problem is, I know I
These
will
aren't those
always love
lyrics.
you. Those aren't the lyrics. Like Nothing Compares to You, Sinead O'Connor.
Not 91, is it?
I mean, that's around the right time for her, right?
What about the Our Little Group part of this? Our Little Group
Yeah.
has always been and always
That
will
makes me
be
think of
until
like
the end.
Stand By Me.
Like it's a band or something, right? Loser came to mind by Beck because I'm worse at what I do best.
Yeah, but well, Our Little Group. It does seem kind of like grungy. Could it be Smells Like Teen Spirit?
That doesn't sound right.
This is a song we've absolutely heard of, but we don't know the words for some reason. And it's 1991. It's not Madonna. It's not Vogue.
90 seconds, y'all.
It's weird that its phrasing is weird. Our little group has always been and always will until the end. Not will be until the end, but and always will until the end. And they're referring to blessed.
This was supposed to be our pickup, Jonathan.
I'm worse at what I do best.
That makes me think it's kind of grungy, though. I'm worse at what I do best. Let me just kind of.
Yeah, but it was way too positive.
This seems so grungy to me.
I don't think it's grungy.
I need an answer, y'all.
Okay, sure. Then I guess we're gonna say, "I Swear" by All for One.
Oh, I'm too sexy. Right said Fred.
Yeah, all right. We'll do Right Said Fred. I'm too sexy. Sure.
There you go.
You're locked in? Okay. So Ben and Nick.
So I had no idea what this was, but Nick locked in on it instantly. And so I'm going to sing the part of this that Zahkia did not sing. Our little group has always been and always will until the end. Hello,
Is it really?
The second verse. Smells like Teen Spirit.
It's a danger. 91 is a Pavlov for Nirvana.
All right, so you guys locked in with Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay, so Carmela and Erin.
Here we are now. Entertain us. What I thought was going to happen was when Jonathan was just giving up at the end. He's like, all right, he's going to say, okay, fine, Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I was going to get super angry.
That was amazing.
I was ready for it.
I would have rage quit this episode.
Think about it.
Please don't leave me. I didn't know this.
But this definitely Smells Like Teen Spirit. 100%.
I was waiting for the same thing, Carmela. I was waiting for him to just be like, fine, we'll just go with your answer, even though, no, it's wrong. And then
We'll just go with a popular answer for the time period.
Because you do that all the time.
I'm not disagreeing.
All the time.
I'm not disagreeing at all.
There's a point where it's called pulling a Jonathan. I mean, let's be honest.
and your aunt.
I'm just disappointed. Literally, I'm not a fan of that song. I don't like the song, so I don't know all the words. You know?
Nobody knows the words, though.
Apparently, there's people in this chat who do.
Carmela knows the words.
Okay.
I told her I've only ever heard it half in the bag at karaoke. I've never paid attention to the words.
I'm pretty sure this is the second
opening
verse.
line. I was going to say, the opening line is load up on guns, bring your friends. And I think that's something that not a lot of people know. And that's the first line of the song.
Are there any more references to this list? Because I just looked at the top 500 songs just now, and I have strong disagreements.
Oh, we all do. Bro, we all do.
We talk about every time we reference the list.
As much as I love Get Your Freak On, that is not a top 10 song.
Oh, God, no.
No, it's no.
That's a new one on 2021 because that wasn't on any of the other previous lists. So, all right, your answer is "I'm Too Sexy" by Right. No, it is Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana. All right.
Yeah. Whenever Nick, whenever you said Ben looked confused, I said, "Are you saying he looks stupid and contagious?" Is that what?
Here we are now.
That's how I felt.
Entertain us.
Question 2 in round 4. The category is episode 171, Scooby-Dooium. Scott had to correct me a few times on how to say that, just to let you know. So, and the question is for Scooby-Dooium. In the 2022 animated film Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo, what character made headlines by coming out as gay? For 5 points, give me the first name. For full credit of 10 points, give me the character's full name.
I agree with you. I think that's right.
Yep.
So we'll lock in.
And you got first and last name?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not that, Ben.
maybe we can make up some ground.
I'm like 90, 95, 98%.
You're 98%?
On that being the first and last name of that character.
We're locked in.
So we have this discussion. So you're thinking it's Velma. I don't know. I said it could be any of them except Daphne.
I think Daphne and Fred had a thing, but that may just be the Freddie Prinze Jr., the Sarah Michelle Gellar connection.
Shaggy, you and Scooby check the basement. Me and Velma are going to check the bed. Me and Daphne going to check the bedroom.
Right, yeah, exactly. There was a whole plot point of Shaggy with the girl on the in the live action movie with the girl on the plane, Mary Jane.
Yes,
right, was the girl that he was chasing after. So Shaggy chasing after a girl equals not gay, probably. Which leaves Velma. It's either Velma or Scooby. I'm gonna go ahead and say the dog is out, so it's got to be Velma.
Scooby did cross-dress quite a bit.
That is fair,
but
100%.
That doesn't mean that he's gay.
Has nothing to do with sexuality. I'm gonna say it's Velma, and I'm 90% Velma Dinkley. That's her last name.
We'll lock in with that then.
Raggy.
All right, Jonathan and Zahkia.
So I just watched a double feature of Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost and Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island last night. The answer for sure is Velma Dinkley. Though Daphne and Fred, their will they, won't they is definitely canon. And I think Velma was like, I think they were trying to suggest that she was flirting with an author in the Witch's Ghost, but that's not canon. The answer is Velma Dinkley.
All right, and Carmela and Erin.
Actually, if you searched Velma on Google right around the time this happened, a lot of like lesbian pride flags would fall from the top of Google. It was actually very fun, but it's definitely Velma Dinkley.
And your answer is Velma Dinkley. Well done, all teams, for getting full credit.
Woohoo!
Well done.
She was the thickest one out of all of them. She was the one I wanted.
She's also a cartoon character.
Hey, that don't mean nothing.
The original
The squirril
question,
from
So is
Rescue
Chitara,
Rangers.
but here we are.
Well,
the
Chitara
original
wasn't
question
hot
was
to me.
actually asking what Velma's last name was, and Scott said, you know what, that might be a little too tough. Not for these three teams, my friend.
I was
These
wrong
three
on that
teams
one.
crushed
I've heard that whole bit about cartoon characters, and I've made it a funny thing to mention that my first two crushes were Mary Poppins and Maid Marian from the Disney cartoon.
Oh, she's a vixen.
I was getting picked on for this.
She was a
you had a
fox.
crush on a cartoon character, blah blah blah, at the Disney competition at SporkleCon, and I said, I guarantee I'm not the only one. And so the person was picking on me, and I turned to a table full of people. It was full of ladies. I said, hey, who was your childhood crushes? The fox, Robin Hood, came up in that answer from three people. One of them said the fox.
The energy in the 1970s Robin Hood is just way too horny. Like,
It is so real.
It's got horny
It's
energy.
exactly the right amount of horny.
I'm just gonna throw this out there because this is not expected, but the Lilo's Guardian, Lilo and Stitch, thick with two C's.
Her sister? Nani.
Yes, her sister.
Yeah,
Nani,
thick with
yeah.
two C's.
Yeah.
Her name is Naughty?
Nani.
She liked Naughty.
First name Eva.
Also, I'd like to throw out there just the appropriate amount of horny as a title, as an episode title.
Let me write that one down. That's good.
All right. While Jonathan writes that down,
Chris is like, man, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
I'm just trying to help y'all out too. You know,
Forget work. He's thinking about Wednesday night prayer meeting tomorrow night. That's what he's thinking about.
So your final question, round 4. The category is episode 200. Hold me, Jonathan. I'm scared.
Oh, God, that was funny.
That was so great.
Oh, it was.
It is, again, one of my favorite moments in the show for sure. So the question is, what novelist wrote the following 3 books? The Cider House Rules, A Prayer for Owen Meany, and The World According to Garp.
We're locked in.
All right.
Yeah,
You sound
knew he wasn't getting
disgusted.
up on this one.
You sound disgusted, Nick. You're like, we're locked in.
No. That was based on the conversation we had, based on the long, drawn-out conversation that we had. I feel confident that I can lock in with my answer.
Yep.
And teams, you have about 90 seconds.
Yeah, we will lock in.
These book titles are so familiar. Like A Prayer for Owen Meany, I'm pretty sure is what got turned into Simon Birch. And Cider House Rules. Oh, it's a movie. It's a really good one. It's really sad.
Is Cider House Rules Irish?
No, it's Southern Gothic.
Well,
Not
you
Gothic,
threw out
Southern.
Cormac McCarthy to start with. I don't think these are the same vibe.
Yeah.
Y'all, I need an answer, please.
All right, we don't have a
Yes.
good answer, so we're going to give you Nick Hornby.
Yeah, that's where we landed. The wrong answer.
He is just the right amount of Hornby.
Okay. There you go.
that ain't
right.
bad. That ain't bad. Come on.
Fine.
All right.
not
So
good.
Aaron and Carmela.
We
So-
didn't know.
Yeah. When you said Cider House Rules, my brain went Slaughterhouse 5, Vonnegut. I'm like, no, you idiot. That's not right. Carmela said, I wonder if it's Jonathan something because the category was Hold Me, Jonathan. And I was like, well, my brain is saying Mitch Albom, but that's Tuesdays with Morrie. That's something different. And then I said, I'm just clearing out all the wrong answers in my head. But the problem is there's nothing left. I remember a friend of mine in high school reading A Prayer for Owen Meany. So it's someone fairly recent. Thought maybe it was Jonathan something, but Jonathan Swift is too old and I don't know. So then Carmela suggested
Sydney Snuffle Onion.
So we like him.
Purveyor of fine books everywhere.
All right, so Sydney Snuffle Onion. Got it. Okay.
It wasn't Snuffle Opinion?
No, it was Snuffle Onion.
All right. And Nick and Ben.
You are all over it with the Jonathan thing. It's not Jonathan, it's John. It's John Irving.
And your answer is John Irving.
Was not going to
Well
get
done.
to that.
And just to let you know, all three books became movies. He actually won an Academy Award for the screenplay of Cider House Rules.
Yep. Just watched Cider House Rules. I caught the last 20 minutes of it. Depressing movie. But at the end, first credit, John Irving.
All right.
I knew half the cast of that movie. Why couldn't you ask me that? Tobey Maguire, Erykah Badu, Heavy D.
Yep.
All right.
Is that what he did after he found love?
Oh, what are we going to do with it? All right. So after 4 rounds, we have a new leader. Nick and Ben with 127. The Evil Empire,
The darkest
127 points. In second place.
The Evil Empire?
Sorry,
That's
it's Nick.
That's
It's
me.
all
That's
Nick.
me. That's my interpretation. Yeah. No, I'll accept responsibility for that.
So Erin and Carmela just 2 points behind with 125, and Jonathan and Zahkia with 100 points are still in this game. And I'm going to
Also participating, Jonathan and Zahkia.
and
Also ran.
And I am going to tag in my tag team partner, Scott Barber.
All right. Let's start round 5 with first question in the category of everyday Q&A.
All right.
Let's see what I'm doing there.
TriviaCalendar.com, baby.
There you go.
Now
this
on
is-
sale.
No, seriously, we need to
Hopefully-
sell those calendars. You'll go buy them now.
No, I know, but remember, Kit said it. They're now on sale.
Yes, they're on
Shut up.
sale.
By the time this recording is. Yes.
No more
I have-
pre-ordering. Now it's just
No.
ordering.
On
Yes.
sale ordering. So please go and purchase them now.
I use them for writing trivia sometimes.
Aaron is destroying them, yeah.
So here's a Q&A about Everyday. The song Everyday, released as a B-side to a top 3 Billboard hit in 1957, still itself ranked 238th on Rolling Stone's 2004 edition of the 500 Greatest Songs of All Time. Was written by and originally recorded by what inaugural Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee?
I'm 80%. I'm 85% sure that all of those are accurate for the first class. So pick whatever one you want and lock in with that.
Pick out the song in my head. All right, yeah.
90 seconds, everybody.
We'll go ahead and lock in.
We're locked in.
Okay, well, everybody's locked in. So Nick and Ben, will start with y'all first then.
Is that your cousin? Is that Marvin?
Yeah. So I need to read this. I said Hall of Fame inductees started in, I believe, the early 80s. And I know Aretha was one of the inaugurals. So okay, so this is all Dick. Okay, first class was Batty, Fats Domino, Barry, Chuck Berry, Elvis, Busy Holly, Sam Cooke, Jerry Lewis. I don't think Aretha was first class. I don't know if that's the same as A.A. Ron. And so we had too many names, so we just settled on Barry, but not Marvin.
We need you guys to post a picture of that when this show comes out, by the way, because that's
Let me
fantastic.
get a screenshot.
That is fantastic. Barry, but not Marvin. Got it. Okay. So Jonathan and Zahkia.
First class, I don't have a list of 8 people to put in the class of 5 like Nick did, but
I just wrote a question on this, like in the last week and a half.
57 is so early. It's before most of those were making hits. So that pushed us towards Buddy Holly. This could have been the B-side for Peggy Sue or something like that. So, yeah, we went with Buddy Holly.
And Carmela and Erin.
So I was trying to think of who was technically first. And I think maybe I got it wrong because I thought Chuck Berry was technically first. But actually now I think it's Aretha Franklin who was technically first on that list. But I was just thinking about Back to the Future taking place in 1955, which would have been right. They hadn't heard Johnny Be Good yet, and I bet the A side of this was Johnny Be Good. So we ended up going with Chuck Berry.
Okay.
You may be too soon for this, but your kids are going to love it.
Please, I want this. I want this.
Yeah, because we
Well, the A side of the kit that I'm talking about was Peggy Sue. Every day
Things are getting closer, going faster like a
That's
roller
the
coaster.
song.
That's the song. Every Day was by Buddy Holly.
Good job.
Good work. Ugh, frustrating.
Yeah.
Y'all made that so much more nerve-wracking by having the same answer. Oh my God.
Ben, I
And
just
you're
like
right,
to point
and-
out that
and-
answer is dead center of the list that I sent you.
It is, but you know,
You mean Buddy Holu?
busy holding.
Busy Holly.
Holy. Yeah. All right. Your second question in the round. And this is maybe my favorite question that I've written. And I don't know if anyone's going to get it. And I don't care. I'm just going to say this is
All right.
this is one of those yucky-oids. You either know it or you don't. And I just love this question. I didn't change it for many to make it any easier. Just throwing that out there. It's in the category of all the meow meows on the softest of J's.
That's so many references in one comment.
And I don't know any
Just
of
you
them.
wait. In a popular online video clip taken from a press stop for the cast of Ant-Man and the Wasp that has now become an inside joke for many MCU fans online, Paul Rudd was asked how to pronounce the name of Thor's hammer. What was his response?
Totally setting the timer on this one.
That is exactly the facial expression I expected with that answer. It's 100% what I
I'm
expected.
surprised you
from
could see my face. I didn't realize I was leaning out of the camera.
I was staring at you, waiting for you to read the text. All right, we're locked in with our 30% possible answer.
So both of you
All
are
right, all
locked
right,
in?
all right.
No, we are not.
No, the ladies are not.
No, we don't have. We don't have clue.
Well, that's just your snuffled opinion, all right?
All right,
Yeah.
90 seconds, everybody.
We're gonna lock in with whatever Carmela's about to type.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's just do that.
Rock out.
Well, I mean, we debated. There wasn't really any debate. It was much more throwing things at each other and hoping it led to some kind of answer. I started off by saying, hey, he could have gone with something like mule near, two words that put them together and they sound like the hammer's name. I also suggested he could have just named it Bob, which is a perfectly viable name for a hammer.
This is Bob and my other hammer, Bob.
Yeah, right. Zahkia suggested Evangeline Lilly, which also would be a wonderful name for a hammer. And we settled on, we also suggested Canada McMaple Bacon to make a comeback for this episode. But we finally settled on somebody whose name is related to hammers, and we went with Hank.
I was like, Kat Dangs called it Mew Mew in a movie, but that was before Rudd joined the MCU. So I just turned the soft J into a hard J and said Majolner.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes as much
Majolner.
sense as anything.
So I was going to go one way with the thought process we came up with on this, but after Jonathan and Zakia's answer, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to make up how we got into this answer. I vaguely I vaguely recollect seeing this interview with him where he didn't know how to pronounce it, and he did what Paul Rudd does, and he makes a joke. So Jonathan, I think you are way closer than you think with Bob as the correct answer.
Mhm.
I believe the correct answer would be a different Oaks, and he called it Jonathan.
What?
That'd be up.
when the cast was asked how to
No.
pronounce Thor's hammer, Mjolnir was given as an option by one of the cast members. I believe Evangeline Lilly called it Mjolnir or something like that. And an instant quick cut to Paul Rudd, who says, Jonathan?
No.
It's Jonathan.
No.
Nick, did you change your answer there, or was that your answer?
No,
all the
that was
time?
the answer
Locked
that
in
we
with that.
gave,
You
but
just
I
No.
vaguely remember it. But
No.
because you said Bob, I thought that the Oaks Inn was a better story.
Nope.
I thought that was going to be what I was going to put as flavor text, Nick. I was going to be like, you picked the wrong Oaks, brother. It's not Bob. It's Jonathan. Jonathan is the answer.
No, give me both, buddy.
Yeah, no, this is one of those things where Paul Rudd is on Sarah's like laminated list.
Laminated.
Yeah, mine too.
Your family operates
You
differently.
laminate your hall passes?
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, she's got it laminated, and
It's
Paul
locked
Rudd
in.
is on it. So
Nick's
that's
is
one of
not, just Sarah's.
But yeah, no, I'm not even on her list.
Nick's list is like in a dry erase board.
Nick's list includes the fox from Robin Hood.
As it should.
Jessica Rabbit, Chitara, the fox from Robin, May Marion. Yeah,
As we've established, it's an appropriate amount of horny.
that's correct. But yeah, no, anything
Chitara,
Paul
I
Rudd
approve.
related is viewed in this household 100% of the time.
Cool.
Wow. I'm a little
Thanks, Sarah.
uncomfortable with this talk now. So
So 10 points to Sarah is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, 100% that came from her.
So your last question in round 5 is in the category of, I think I'm going to need about tree fitty.
Tree fitty.
Tree
Hell
fitty.
yeah.
And when it comes to this question, I got to admit, old habits do die hard. This is a question that was missed by all the original hosts
Oh my
in
god.
episode 350, except for Jonathan, who asked the question, but all were involved.
Ben, what's the name of the guy from Love Boat?
Oh, I know that one.
That's good.
No, this is 350, not one of the 100 episodes,
Okay.
but from episode 350 on the TV show South Park. Chef's father was voiced by what actor and musician?
Oh, chef. Wait a minute. Yeah.
Ben, that's racist.
It's not
That is racist.
It is accurate.
It doesn't mean it's not racist.
It's not racist.
It would be racist
quit.
if you said it, Nick. It's not racist if he says
it
it.
wouldn't be. No, it wouldn't.
We're gonna need
you're-
disclosure after this.
Ben, I can't say that on microphone.
We're good, man. We're good. I'll talk through the logic.
Yeah, no, this is 100% you.
Is he telling you that you need to try his salty balls?
Oh my god.
Yes.
It's like the weekend
That's-
update Christmas
Put 'em in
specials.
your mouth and suck them in, suck them.
oh my gosh, yes, Pete Schwetty's balls.
Sweaty balls.
Zakia, do you want to do that?
Yeah, because I think that's right. I
All right.
remember. I
We're-
think that's right. Yeah.
We're going to lock in.
We do you want to lock in?
Might as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody else.
Great. We will lock in.
All right, so Nick and Ben, you can talk it out.
Nuh-uh.
All right. Okay. All right. I got you. So my first thing was I don't
Looks
know.
like I'm gonna get canceled.
No, it's not. It's not bad.
I
don't
was
know why
smart enough
he's
not
freaking
to
out so
answer
much.
this question.
Ben, I am recording.
It's not even
Wait,
bad.
what?
My first line to him was, "I don't know somebody black." That's literally what I said. That's not bad. I guess
That's
acceptable.
not bad at
Know
all.
somebody black.
If Isaac Hayes voiced Chef, you would think they would pick somebody black to voice his dad. But so I said, well, wild guess initially BB King. But I think BB King may have already passed by the time South Park came, at least that episode came along. Then I remembered this was the Loch Ness episode. Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what voice is the artist and musician? I don't know. And then I thought, maybe it's not a black dude. Maybe it's Parker or Stone. But they're not musicians. I wouldn't classify them as that.
I don't know. What would Brian Boitano do?
I don't know what that has to do with this question, but
It's a South
a
Park
South Park
reference.
South Park
from the early
reference.
days.
okay. All right, fine.
60 seconds, y'all.
I'm sure that whoever voiced the dad probably voiced the mom as well.
Okay.
I gave him $1. Why you give him that? That's when I realized it was 72 feet tall
really just Loch Ness
from the
monster.
Paleozoic era. I'm gonna guess Isaac Hayes.
You think he did his own father?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
The time
gonna say Isaac
machine
Hayes.
plotline.
Okay.
Erin and Carmela.
So I remember, I think I answered Parker and Stone when this originally was asked, and being kind of a little mad that it wasn't them. We end up saying Isaac Hayes as well. I don't know who else it would be. So I think he also voiced his dad. I think that was the trick to the question originally.
All right, and Zahkia and Jonathan.
Damn it.
I do think that Stone ended up voicing him later.
Yeah, I think Isaac Hayes played his own dad, And then maybe like Trey Parker or Matt Stone played the mom. Yeah, he's his own dad. He's his own grandpa. Isaac Hayes.
On the original recording of 350, Carmela, you and Chris were a team and answered with Matt Stone. And Ben, your team with David Livesey and answered Matt Stone. And the correct answer is Isaac Hayes. Congratulations.
We learned.
Congratulations.
So I do remember the episode where Chef dies. That was after he left the show, after they made fun of Scientology.
Right.
And I specifically remember they basically spliced together his voice using clips from previous episodes to make up that episode. It was crazy.
In an obvious way. It was
Right.
obvious
Yes.
that it was
Yes.
spliced. Yeah.
Yes.
And he was pissed. Oh, he was pissed.
What could he do though?
Nothing. But after 5 rounds, again, very close episode so far. So with 147, Ben and Nick are in the lead. In second place, Carmela and Erin with 135. And Jonathan and Zahkia are in third place with 120. Absolutely.
All right, Chris, take over for round 6, please.
All right, round 6
I thought we were done. I'm literally asking Ben what we're betting on.
More questions.
3 more questions. All right.
I mean,
And
usually
round
you
six.
can give up on the last 3. You don't have to answer them.
It's round 6, and this round is brought to you by me, Chris Hollister. I actually wrote all 3 of them instead of asking for Rob Warman to write it for me. So, all right. So the first question, round 6, episode 242, Pope Goose, and your question is: there have been 21 Catholic popes who have taken on the name of John. For 10 points, name me 2 of the next 5 most used papal names.
I'm just naming popes, Aaron.
Yeah, that's what I was about to be doing too. You said after
John.
All right, then Ben, I think we go with those 2. I think we go with your first and my first.
All right, we're locked in.
That's weird to write in the plural.
Yeah, I'm good with what we had initially.
Cool. We will lock in.
All right, Jonathan, Zahkia, you can talk it out.
Okay, so Zahkia, I know it's not the most popular now, but I think Paul itself is in the 20s. I think there's a lot of them.
And I'm curious if parsing makes a difference here. So are John and Paul, like, technically they're different than John Paul, right? But
there's only 2 John Pauls, so I'm not even counting it from our side in the Pauls. I don't know if he's counting it in the Johns. Were John Pauls counted in the Johns, Chris?
Okay.
They were counted as a separate name.
Okay, good. So yeah, I'm good with. I'm actually like good with everything we mentioned: Paul, Gregory, Innocent, Urban, and I know there's at least 9 Piuses. So
I think out of the Gregorys, Urbans, and Innocents, I think Urban gets into like 15, 16 territory. So I'd be most confident with Paul and Urban.
Mm-hmm. I'm good with that. I mean, yes, I am good with that. Okay.
All right. And let's go with Ben and Nick next then.
I'm so glad you asked this question because I believe this was the Warm It Up Chris that Don Thompson asked us during the Chicago meetup last week.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow.
This was fresh
Chicago
on my
people.
brain.
Excellent timing.
I'm glad I paid just enough attention to that conversation.
I had no idea, by the way. Oh, wow.
So I told Dick, I think there have been at least 13 Leos. So I'm pretty sure that's up there. And then Nick immediately responded with Benedict, which I remember being a popular one as well. So we locked in with Leo and Benedict.
Yeah, Benedict was the one right before the current
Francis.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, the Palpatine looking guy.
Someone who
Palpatine
retired
the
from being a
second.
pope.
Yeah, and he was like Benedict the 17th.
All right. And Erin and Carmela.
I think it was the 14th.
I was on the Pope Goose episode, and I re-listened to it recently and didn't remember a thing. So we bounced around a lot of Pope names.
Yeah, because I remember naming a lot of popes on that episode.
Yeah, a lot of popes. We said in no particular order: Clemens, Gregory, Pius, Innocent, Paul. And then when y'all said Urban, I went, ooh, Urban. But we had already locked in with Pius and Gregory. So I think, did all of us have different answers?
6 different answers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of popes.
Holy
That is
crap.
correct.
So many popes.
Yes.
We're all going to be half right.
Yeah.
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 I'd prefer that to one of us being all right, as long as it's, not us.
Well, I will say that one team got it correct.
No.
It could
I mean, it
be.
could be us, but
With 13. Or actually, no, let's start at the top. With in second place is tied for second with 16. You have Gregory and Benedict.
Fudge.
At 4 with 14, Clement.
Nobody
5
Clement,
with
right?
5 and 5 is a tie with 13 is Innocent and Leo. Nick and Ben get 10 points.
We didn't even name a single person on the list.
And no, you did not. I'm
Oh
terribly
my
sorry.
God.
We got half
Innocent?
right.
We said all of them except Leo. We just
I
didn't
mean, our
pick the
two
right
answers though. How many innocents? How many Urbans and Pauls were there?
Don Thompson gets credit for that answer because I would not have pulled Leo.
I may actually send a reference that says one of the questions asked during the meetup definitely came up episode 400.
There were 8 Urbans. 8. He finished.
I
with
thought
1,
there's
2,
way
3,
more
4,
Urbans
5,
than
6,
that.
7.
Eight's still
8,
a lot,
9.
though.
He was 9th overall.
And Paul was 6. Excuse me, Paul was 12 with 6.
Right.
There's only
it
been
was
6
12.
balls.
I'm sorry,
many-
Zahkia. My knowledge
you're
is just
fine.
bad.
How many Piuses were there?
12.
12 Pius
Okay.
is tied
It
with
just
Innocent.
missed the list.
It
Yeah.
just missed the top 5.
Peanuts.
Don Thompson, 10
I was
points
in-
for that answer.
I was gonna say Nick is now a fan of yours.
Yeah,
Just to let you know.
100%. Yeah.
So, all right.
Well, that's
Your
damning with faint praise, isn't it?
Your second question in round 2 is episode 338. Oh yeah, Bonesaw's ready.
Oh yeah, Bonesaw's ready. Yeah.
Yes. And your question is a dermatome, and that's spelled DERMATOME. A dermatome is a surgical instrument that is used primarily for what surgical procedures?
And we're going to go ahead and lock in.
That's one.
Ben, that's not a thing.
That the autocorrect again.
I'm trying.
Those are
I'm
just-
trying to do this.
Those are just 2 words that don't go
I
together.
got something better for you. Here you go.
Oh. Now you're just riffing off of the word that doesn't make any sense.
Ben's
makes
just
sense to
being
me.
dirty right
It
now.
makes sense to me, Nick. That's all that matters.
Ben sends Nick a text. I got 2 words for
Yeah.
you.
Suck it.
Suck it.
I was gonna say this is so far off base that I don't feel terrible sharing this before we log in.
All right, 30 seconds, teams. We need to go ahead and circle in on an
This would be
answer
a-
or non-answer if it comes to Ben.
This would be a very contentious teammates situation if we weren't winning.
Oh, boo. Boo these men. Boo.
It's always contentious with Nick. It doesn't matter.
It's winning.
We're locked in.
Carmela and Erin, you have about 10 seconds.
Okay. So my first thought was skin grafts because derma. And then we were joking about tanning and she goes, surgical tanning, expensive in the Jersey Shore. I'm like, ooh, what about like a facelift or something? Because you said surgical procedure, facelift or Botox. I am leaning plastic surgery and I am leaning facelift because I can't think of another. Was it a boob job? Could be a boob job.
I don't know. There's so many different plastic surgery procedures.
Tome like books, like peeling pages apart. I don't know. I'm getting very deep into the etymological weeds here, and it's probably not going to be good for my nightmares.
Yeah, I think it's definitely skin related because it's derma.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it tattoo removal? Is it something stupid like that?
All right, ladies.
No.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but
Just go
Longest 10
faceless.
seconds
Okay.
I've ever heard.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. Let's go. We will do facelift, which are with our perfectly proportioned 10 seconds.
all right. And Ben and Nick.
Ben, I feel a hell of a lot better about our answer.
I was like, okay, derma skin, tome like big book.
It's literally the same conversation.
And then I said, okay, well, is it skin book? is it Facebook?
Oh my.
That was the answer I thought that wasn't
The
helpful.
Normonomicon.
Yeah, Necronomicon, yeah.
We end up going with facelift.
Jonathan and Zahkia.
2 of these
So no
kids
lie.
are doing their own thing.
I know, no lie, Jonathan. I was getting worried. It was taking them so long to like come up with an answer.
Maybe we're the bad ones.
Yeah, us basic kiddos over here said skin graft.
All right. And your answer is skin graft.
Oh.
Good job.
We did the overthinking.
Yeah. Should just
Episode 500. We'll get that, Ben.
Episode 500, the overthoughting. I can see it now.
God, that's now.
True.
All right. And your final question before the gauntlet, your category is episode 379, Senator Palpatine. And your question is, in 1969, George Lucas co-founded the film production company American Zoetrope with what 1975 Oscar-winning director?
Can you spell Zoetrope?
I'm happy to, sir. Zoetrope. Zoetrope. And I believe I even said it correctly, so there's that.
We are locked in.
90 seconds, teams.
Ben, I don't think 90 seconds is going to be enough.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Zahkia just clued me in on what the answer might be. I think that gave it to me. All right. No. Ben, based on what Zahkia just said, I think we're locked in.
Oh, wait a minute. Come on now.
Yeah, no,
All right.
definitely.
Are y'all locked in?
Yeah, we're locked in.
Okay, so Jonathan and Zahkia, you have about 50 seconds.
So, Zahkia, I missed a question recently because American Graffiti is not in the mid to late 70s. It's actually in like 73. So it's not going to be related to American Graffiti.
That's right. I listened to that episode, and Erin said Star Wars, and she got you.
Yeah, thanks, teammate. That makes me feel real good right now.
Sorry. I'm
You're
here
welcome,
with
by
you.
the way.
So I was thinking James Cameron. And I think it's like a little early for James
seems
Cameron, but
real early for James Cameron for me.
yeah, I know he did something with Lucas though. But I'm with you. That seems too early.
In 1969?
75.
75 is when the person won the award. 69 is when Zoetrope was founded. It ain't James Cameron. I would say, Kubrick's the most sci-fi out of the names. I think it's too early for it to be Ridley Scott.
I agree. Kubrick, he's cute. How do we say it? He's weird enough for me.
All
Kubrick. Yeah, let's go with him.
Going with Kubrick. Now we'll go Kubrick.
Carmela and Erin.
And them.
My brain is mostly not forming words. We ended up going with Spielberg. He did a lot of work with Spielberg. Jaws was around that time. Now I can't think of a single thing he won, but we ended up saying Spielberg. We'll see what happens.
All right. And Ben and Nick.
Oh, do you want me to let him in on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So about 20 seconds in, Nick was like, I'm 90% sure of the answer. And I was like, okay, well, let's delay locking in because we don't want to tip our hand to the other team. So literally everything you saw was just theater by me and Nick.
I don't know, but we knew that. He literally said, let's not lock in. Let's not lock in.
We get an answer.
Yeah, we locked in with Coppola.
One of my favorite trivia questions of all time is, what is the only sequel to win an Academy Award for Best Picture? And the answer is Godfather Part 2. And your answer is Francis Ford Coppola.
Would never have gotten there.
Nope. It did come up.
About it.
Yeah, it did come up. But we weren't thinking about 2. We were thinking about 1.
And just to let you know, American Zoetrope and Francis Ford Coppola actually executive produced American Graffiti, just to let you know, as well as THX 1138 and whatnot. It's actually Star Wars was the first movie he did not executive produce with Lucas. Going into the gauntlet, it really is a very close game. But Ben and Nick have solidified their lead. They have 167.
Great game, y'all.
Carmela and Erin, 135. Jonathan and Zahkia, very close behind with 130. And I'm tagging it over to Scott to finish out the game.
All right. Your gauntlet category, which you will be wagering on, is in the category of Only Champions Bet Hero. Zero. Only Champions Bet Hero, 0.
Okay.
We are locked in, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Okay, we'll lock that wager in.
Wow, that's a lot of typing.
Shut up.
Just stop.
All right. I need you guys to circle in, though.
Yeah, all right, we're locked in.
All right, your first question of the gauntlet in Only Champions Bet Hero, 0, is in the subcategories of music and television.
Televisiones.
The first question is, alt-rock band Remy Zero may not have had a mega hit to their credit.
Mega hit.
But their most recognizable song is arguably Save Me, which was the theme to what television show that ran for 10 seasons from 2001 to 2011?
We're locked in.
All right, we're locked in.
We're locked in.
Your second question in the gauntlet is in the subcategory of science.
Science.
According to the MCU wiki page, Bucky Barnes, also known as the Winter Soldier, was kept in his youthful state for the better part of a century, thanks to being kept by Hydra in a cryostasis chamber for most of it. This kept him in suspended animation by lowering his body temperature to absolute zero or 0 degrees Kelvin. On which other scale would this be measured as negative 273.15?
We're locked in.
Our answer is locked in.
We're locked in.
All right, your final question in the gauntlet is in the subcategory of literature.
Literature.
0 Hour Crisis in Time was a DC Comics crossover event in 1994 whose primary antagonist was Parallax, a supervillain that was once a hero in the Justice League, but turned evil upon the destruction of his hometown of Coast City. Which former hero was Parallax?
Hero name or character name?
I'll accept either.
That one we can lock in with.
We're locked in.
All right, we are locked in.
First question. Alt-rock band Remy Zero may not have had a mega hit to their credit, but their most recognizable song is arguably Save Me, which was the theme to what television show that ran for 10 seasons from 2001 to 2011? Let's go with Jonathan Zahkia. What'd you have for us?
Zahkia, it just hit me that this was a comic book heavy gauntlet for us if our first answer here is right, because we think Save Me was Smallville featuring Superman.
All right, Nick and Ben?
Instigate. My sister and I recently had a debate on Facebook about whether Tom Welling or Tom Welling or Christopher Reeve played the best Superman. This is Smallville.
All right, Carmela, Erin.
Not just comic heavy, DC heavy.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, I watched this show a lot. I remember the Green Arrow they use is Justin Hartley's on This Is Us now. So yeah, we went with Smallville.
Question 2 in the gauntlet. According to the MCU wiki page, Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, was kept in his youthful state for the better part of a century thanks to being kept by Hydra in a cryostasis chamber for the better part of it. This kept him in suspended animation by lowering his body temperature to absolute zero or 0 degrees Kelvin. On which other scale would that be measured as negative 273.15? Jonathan Zahkia.
Oh, we struggled. It's Fahrenheit or Celsius. Fahrenheit or Celsius. Zahkia had costumes in her argument. It was. We ended up going Celsius, and we're really hoping it's right.
Ben and Nick.
Yeah, Celsius. We locked in that pretty instantly.
Okay.
Jonathan, you said 100 degrees Celsius is 212 Fahrenheit. That's the boiling point for both.
Yep.
And is absolute zero like negative 454 Fahrenheit? I have that number
Roughly,
in my head.
yeah. It's 470 something. Yeah, it's somewhere in that general vicinity.
Yep.
And Erin and Carmela.
Well, the
I think
Avalanche
sorry.
won, but we said Celsius.
2 games in one.
All the best arguments for me are costume based. So I was with you. Totally there. I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm with you.
And that's a great costume.
Yeah, it is.
Carmela said Celsius, and I said, yeah. Cool. Literally.
Literally cool. Very cool.
So cool.
All right, your last question in the gauntlet. 0 Hour Crisis in Time was a DC crossover event in 1994 whose primary antagonist was Parallax, a supervillain that was once a hero in the Justice League but turned to evil upon the destruction of his hometown of Coast City. Which former hero was Parallax?
I think we should go with Carmela and Erin
Let's
first.
go with Carmela and Erin.
I don't like my answer.
I don't read comics. I don't know comics. You know comics? You got this.
There's so much of it, though. I couldn't remember who was based in Coast City. I ended up saying The Flash, even though I think he's Central City. So I don't think it's right, but we said The Flash.
Nick and Ben.
Carmela, you're right. I think Central City is the Flash.
Yeah.
Once again, I went to stuff that Sarah turns me on to. The only person that's on both of our laminated lists is Ryan Reynolds. So the bad guy in the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie is Parallax. So we went Green Lantern.
Everything Lantern Corps has left my brain at 11 o'clock at night.
That's right. There's so much of it, it's impossible to keep it straight.
Ryan Reynolds, though, good call.
It wasn't long ago that I discovered, I was teasing Nick because I finally realized that he had some standard nerd cred. It was just like, what made you like this? Why do you like trivia kind of thing? And then I found out that he collected comic books, like, for a while. And it's like, thank you. Okay, good. There is something where you fit with the rest of us. It's not just you want to be here. No, you belong here.
Yeah, no, my mother, so that was a Friday night. It was a poker night. We were playing poker, and my mother had literally just dropped off earlier in the day a giant cardboard box.
That's right, yeah.
Like, these are all of your comic books from your old room when you were whatever.
I remember that game.
We literally I pulled them out of the box, and everybody's like, "Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that."
Yeah.
I had everything.
That was
pretty cool.
So yeah, we were all over it. Green Lantern for sure.
All right. So your answers. Again, you all figured out the clue of only champions bet hero 0. All of these are hero-based questions with zero centered somewhere around it. Remy Zero had never really had a major hit on the charts, but was the vocalist / band that sang the theme song for the show Smallville. Smallville's correct.
Nice.
Great job, Ben.
The long-winded Bucky Barnes question that was just a MacGuffin to get into the absolute zero question. 273.15 made this to be a coin flip between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Actually, -40 is where the two meet. Exactly. Pretty close. And 273 is what it is in Celsius.
What's Fahrenheit?
Points. Fahrenheit is 459.67.
Oh, I was 5 degree off.
Yeah,
Negative
450. I said 470.
Yeah, negative 459.67. And 0 Hour Crisis in Time, crossover event in 1994 that saw the birth of Parallax. That was in issue 50 of his own comic book line called Emerald Twilight, subtitled It All Ends Here. And that was the hero known as Green Lantern.
Hey!
Scott is holding up a copy of the comic book where this happened.
I pulled this out of my long box.
It was Hal Jordan.
It was Hal Jordan. I would have accepted either Hal Jordan or Green Lantern.
Yeah, we had that discussion last night.
This is also the issue where Kyle Rayner becomes Green Lantern for the first time. So Kyle Rayner was a very solid Green Lantern.
What was the name of the black one?
John Stewart.
John Stewart, yeah.
Jon, John Stewart, yeah.
No, that's Trevor Noah.
Yes. Aaron, you're my favorite.
And then you got Guy Gardner.
That's right.
Those are
Gardner.
Well, actually, you've got quite a few more now, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
you got Jessica Cruz, and then you've got
Simon Baz.
Simon Baz, yes.
That's right.
He's
the
first Muslim Green Lantern. No, those are just Earth-based Green Lanterns.
Right, yeah, no,
Been on Earth
there's
once.
hundreds of actual Green
there's
Lanterns.
a ton of Green Lanterns.
Those are
No
also
way to
just
keep
Earth
track.
616 Green Lanterns, too.
All right. Well, now it
comes.
comes down to wagers. Unfortunately, Carmela and Erin did miss one. So what was your wager?
Champions bet 0.
we were in the middle. We're like, let's bet 0 and let them fight it out. And it was probably good anyway because I completely, like I said, all Lantern knowledge is left my brain. So.
Fair enough. And Jonathan and Zahkia, what was your wager?
We went with the conservative wager. We did. We had a feeling that Carmela and Erin would bet 0, and we almost just bet to top that. But we went ahead and pushed a little bit further and wagered 38.
So now you have 168. So if Ben and Nick bet anything more than 1, they will be the winners of today's episode. So Ben and Nick, what was your wager?
Ben did all the math on this one.
Yeah, thanks to Nick for completely leaving this decision in my hands.
Well, he wanted you to do something in this episode, Ben. So
that's true.
No,
You're not
Ben
wrong.
carried us through a lot of these questions.
You're not wrong. I've explained my logic many times in the show. I always go with what are the obvious wagers, right? So the 3 obvious wagers are 0, 31, which is as safe as you can bet without going below Carmela and team and Erin. Carmela,
Hi.
and then I don't mean to neglect you. I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Team.
And then
Earlier you were NM.
and then,
Carmela and them.
Her?
don't judge me. That's why we say that. And then 104 for the lockout. So we end up.
You're not going to read off my suggestions for wagers?
No, I'm not. That list is way too long with nonsensical numbers. Because I'm not doing it.
It's just 69 and 420 over and over again.
Did he go pie?
There was a
Did he
42
say
in
pie?
Yeah, no, 12, 42, 17, 143, 8, 212.
Yeah.
He's just,
Yahtzee.
he's just naming his locker combination.
One of those was Fahrenheit.
That was a boiling point.
Yeah. I'm not doing the conversion.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the same combination as my lunch.
So at the end of the day, I said, well, let's go conservative, and we went with 31.
So with
We could have
198.
bet it all and won. Oh.
So Carmela and Erin finished with 135 and in
Respectable.
third place.
Yes.
Jonathan and Zahkia in second place with 168. And your winners of the Galactic Unbelievable episode number 400, Ben and Nick with 198 big points.
You're damn right.
Darkest
Good
time.
job. Good job.
Excellent.
Yeah. By the way,
This is
halfway
the
through the
only-
gauntlet, Ben's like, I regret our wager.
Yeah, because I'm like, Jonathan swept it. He probably bet. I'm just happy I didn't finish last because I finished last in every single one of these. So I just did not want to finish last.
Outstanding. All right. Well, holy crap. That was a fantastic job by Scott and Chris. Let's
Yeah.
give it up for them. Good job, guys.
Great job, guys. Great questions.
Again, it's always my pleasure to write these games. I appreciate you having me come back on for them. And I just can't thank everyone enough for the opportunity and the chance to see everyone's lovely faces again.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick as well. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I was gonna say we'll see you again for 500, but I think by that time most of us will need to schedule a colonoscopy. So
That's
there
a-
you go.
That's a whole
You think I
second,
have 2 years?
Next year, baby.
More there, baby.
a whole second pandemic away, isn't it? Isn't it?
Well, don't-
I was reminiscing a little bit because you're hosting 400 and you did 300 200 and 100 obviously. It's like, okay, we met Scott in the 50s. The show is about to hit or what month
Yeah,
is this?
February.
We're going to hit our 8th year. Okay, so more than 6 years ago now. Time is changing on me.
Yeah, it'll be 8 years in February.
Yep, February.
Anyway, so it's been an awesome thing, Scott, to get to hang out with you and to meet you and to become friends. That's been wonderful. We have that story, not to make it less personal, but we have that story with so many awesome people, and I know that so many awesome people have that story themselves with so many more awesome people.
Yeah.
That even now and probably forever, that is the lasting legacy of what we've done here, and it's awesome.
I'm in 11 Facebook chats with Trivial Warfare Army people. 11 separate chats with
Sounds about right.
totally different groups from the Trivial Warfare Army.
Y'all just had to start a Great British Bake Off chat. That's on you, bro.
Yeah, seriously. Scott is in all of them.
I think I really am. I'm in a bunch of them. Yeah.
It's time for our guests, obviously, to promote causes and shout outs and whatnot. So we'll start with Mr. Hollister.
Again, thank you all for letting me come back and play in this sandbox. It's been a blast as always. A lot of laughs. 5 stars. Fully will do this again. And I love you guys dearly. Please know that. And as for my cause, just hug on your loved ones. Really and truly, it's the best thing to do right now. And so if you could just do that for me, I would really appreciate that. So
That's the OG right there. The major on the ranks, but the general in our hearts.
thanks, y'all.
All right, Scott, over to you.
400 episodes, and I've been tagging along for almost all of them. And you alluded to all of the friends and people we've connected to. I have lifelong friends because of the show. And, between the Sinister Six guys to, everybody from the D&D crowd to all the wrestling threads, all of the threads, like Nick said, that we're all on. Just so many good, honest, true-hearted people that I've met through this show. And it's all because of the show. Wouldn't know any of them if it wasn't for the show, so I'm eternally thankful. As far as causes, I guess my guy Philip Sanford, one of my Sin 6 teammates, he runs a Get Your Rear End Gear charity for colon cancer. So go check that out. He's out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Other than that, thank you for, as Chris said, letting me play in the sandbox for a little bit and hanging out, and onward and upward to everybody in the show, and just love seeing everybody again. Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap us up. So for Chris, for Zahkia, for Erin, for Nick, for Carmela, and Ben, I'm Jonathan, and this has been episode number 400 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
See ya.
Have fun storming the castle.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped trivialwarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit propodcastingservices.com.
Okay. No, that's not the.
Okay, Jonathan, now I agree. This needs to be a video thing. Absolutely. 100% just for Zakia's thought processes. It's amazing.
I think somebody took Zakia's record and played it backwards right there. I don't know.
It's terrible to put his man. Yeah, that's the Missy Elliott song.
So you just went top 7 all time.
Yep.
Was this the show where one of the episode titles had like a weirdly sexy double entendre-y name, and the download results were through the roof on it? Was that okay?
I mean, I go double entendre all the time.
There's no
And
episode of
triple
the show
entendre.
that where the downloads are through the roof.
Okay.
Hey.
That's been-
Oh.
right.
I mean, there was from titties to booties.
Yeah.
No, this was years, and this was like the 17, 18
We haven't been
period
around
of
that
time.
long.
The nut grabbing
Yes, you
game.
have.
1718 is before the revolution.
Nick,
See, it's me that reacts to that way.
Oh, I love that growl.
Oh, that's so bad.
Oh,
Thank you for this wonderful microphone, Jonathan. It picks up all of my emotions.
so good.
Fun fact, sometimes we watch the Spanish ones, and Cookie Monster is come galletas.
Ooh, that is
Yeah.
very poetic.
Yeah, come galletas. Sydney, come galletas.
When I lived in Ireland, some mornings I thought I'd be cute and try to learn Irish, which is a language that bears no relation to any language I've ever encountered in my life.
So hard.
Yeah, a lot of consonants that are really probably unnecessary. But I would have I'd have Irish Sesame Street on sometimes in the mornings, and I was getting ready for class. And every now and then I would forget that I was watching Irish Sesame Street, and I'd kind of be like, what is happening? I still don't know Irish. I know
gotta tell ya.
Ishkabaha.
If you were to get high and watch Irish Sesame Street, I bet you'd have a good time.